And hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello, hello. It is us. I probably should have checked on this screen before I brought us over here, but you know what? It is what it is. Someone let me know if we're too messed up. If not, we're just gonna rock with it. Hello, everybody.
Matt?
Just messed up.
Who's messed up?
Oh, that's a kitty cat.
Matthew?
I think Matt is currently having to contend with
To
both of
me.
them.
I'm juggling with two cats. Ignore me.
Oh,
Yo,
gotcha.
Get ready for that close-up, Matt.
Hello, everybody, and happy Saturday. We are Hard Knock Dice. I am Jonesy, your dungeon master for the evening, and these people all right down here below me this time are going to be your heroes and my best friends. Before we hop into this episode here and our recap, we do have a birthday coming up, which means someone gets a 20 of their choosing. Happy birthday, Milo or Cody. Happy birthday.
Yay, birthday!
So, as with
Thank you.
As with these birthdays, you get a 20 of your choice to choose on whatever role you want to, and it is good until your next birthday. They do not stack.
All right. I gotta hoard those 20s, get like 3 of them going.
So, happy birthday. Now, let's hop into our recap of last session. Last session, our party, after arriving in Sharn, the big city that has been their destination actually since nearly the beginning of this campaign and since meeting Milo, chasing down some kidnappers that they have desperately been seeking out. They've been following a name, Brayton Sithov. That name has led them here to the Tangala. However, that wasn't before they requested of their tour guide, KJ, to find them access to some more magical and more rare items that they couldn't find in the basic shops of Sharn. KJ took the day, found a place, and it ended up being owned by the Boromar clan. Not only the Boromar clan, but Saidan Boromar himself, the patriarch of said family, has extended his trust onto the party and given Milo a calling card from his old friends in the city that are seeking him out. And after doing so, he's sent a babysitter with the party, Pip, who should be right down there somewhere. Our guest, Stacy. Say hello to Stacy. And after sending them, they get dressed up. They go to the Platinum Thread, and everybody is in their finest clothes that they could conjure up. Help from Erish and the shopkeep himself, and now they find themselves in the Tangala, but not before seeing the large screens that decorate Sharn and a small featured guest list, which included King Borinel and Merrick Stakhaneth, as well as Quanti Dorian, who they have had scuffles with before, or at least some form of him before. However, our party had made it into the doors of the Tangala completely unscathed, as their items for war are not too far away, floating in the sky. And that is where we pick up. Everybody, you find yourselves standing in this main sort of gala area. This large party sprawling out in front of you as I turn it on exploration mode for us. And there is a feast, a somewhat dance floor that's going on right now, and currently just a couple of small musicians up on stage. Currently there just seems to be a bit of meandering and socializing, just small talk going on. Nothing is being presented, and nothing else is really happening right now. There's nothing being presented. So currently it is open to you, to what you would like to do, to what you would like to seek out, if anything.
Just lean over to Crowley. So what are we doing while we wait for them to bring out the cloak and stuff? I don't know what to do. In these kind of. Yeah.
We mingle, and you
Oh
just.
shit.
Crowley will pat Gandalf on the arm. You just stand there and look fierce. It'll be okay.
Sure. I guess. That's all I can do
Okay.
Pulling him.
now. I just follow Crowley like, okay.
All right.
Ah.
Crowley, where do you lead him out among these people? And just for sake, because I didn't want to clutter up the area too much, there are more people in here. It is there's probably close to 60 to 80 people in this room currently. So take that as you wish. I just didn't want to clutter up the floor too much.
We're canvassing the dance floor, see who's out there, who people of larger stature. Let's see who's out there. If like one of the big rich people are out there dancing, and we're just gonna mingle, and if we have to, we're gonna dance and get close and see if anything is said.
Okay. You see a couple of. We'll make a perception check for me.
Who's making the perception check? Do we get one each? Or no?
Uh,
Or I guess this is him doing this.
Yeah.
but-
I was like,
Well,
that's fair.
what you're looking for, I named some of the names that you guys would know off the top of your head. If you want to know any more of those, then we can start rolling some history checks. But the names that I said that you would know just based on their looks and the ones that you saw on the screen were Salira Irtane, the hostess of this gala, which currently you do not see. You see Cathan Irdamel, which you know is the Lord Mayor of Sharn, portly man out on the floor currently, just sort of mingling. You see King Bornell, who has just walked in and just sort of has a couple of people bow off to the side of him as he goes up and starts talking to a couple of people. You do not currently see Quanti Dorian.
Good. About Decanus.
Yes, and you see Merrick's Decaneth out on the floor as well.
Okay, well, we'll throw a perception, just a quick glance, see what happens.
Okay.
Tell Gandalf, keep your eyes peeled. Ooh,
Sure.
yeah, it's a 9. I'm not the most wisdom-centric character, but anyway, I'm going to lead Gandalf through the dance floor with
Okay.
skill and grace.
All right.
To make it seem like Gandalf is a better dancer than he actually is.
Okay.
Hey, I rolled pretty good early when we were learning this. I was like,
If needs be.
if needs be. There we go.
Currently, there's not a lot of people dancing. There's just a little bit of light music as people are talking going on. You figure formal dancing may happen a little bit later, but currently everybody's just sort of settling into the party and talking. You have a couple of people just having conversations off to the side, grabbing drinks from the table, who's been replenished by waiters and kitchen staff that are coming from this door over here. If you explore your map, you'll see a light over here that are just sort of in and out of this area, bringing plates of food, bringing like jugs of wine, ale, etc., etc. You also see on the sides here, which are not portrayed, several glass cases that are filled with various items. As you can go around here and look at those items. I'm sorry, they are not placed for whatever reason. But they're just lining these walls right here are several different items, which you can assume to be part of the auction that has that Saidan Boromar has told you about.
Sure.
And they have like little descriptor cards under them.
Go ahead.
Say we Mr. Milo gonna get himself a plate of fancy hors d'oeuvres, and he's gonna go look at what's in the glass cases.
Okay. I believe we may have an echo. Give me 1 second. I want to make sure that we do not.
Echo. Echo.
I hate y'all. I say we may have an echo and everybody goes, echo.
Echo.
Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. Echo might be good. Okay. What would you guys like to do?
If It seems like that's the only entrance and exits that seems to be going towards like the back area, or does it seem like there might be some more entrances and exits?
But you cut out a little bit for me. I'm sorry. What was that last part?
Does it seem like that one door on the left-hand side there with the 2 guards next to it is
Mhm.
that the only doorway that seems to be going in and out of this chamber aside from the main door?
Correct. That seems to be about the only doors that are being heavily utilized right now. If you'd like to get a better spread of the place, walk around the dance floor a little bit and see if you can see anywhere else, you're welcome to.
Sure.
Okay. Go ahead and
So-
give me a perception check.
Alrighty. 21.
With a 21, I'll say you can and you can move yourself here now up closer to the stage. You'll see behind these two, sort of built into the wall itself, there is a seems to be a door going up under the stage. Artyom wouldn't really know this, but if quickly conferring with any of your compatriots that decided to take the journey with you, this is, for storage or for artists to exit out of, that sort of deal. That seems to be the only entrances and exits from this place.
Those bars on the stage are rocking out, dude.
They are. They're in a really big power chord right now, ending their first song. There's no other bard except for the one I use for my logo. All right, but you guys are welcome. You are in exploration mode right now. You are welcome to move yourselves where you would like to be. If you'd like to talk to anyone, I will say, for your sake, right here, this is going to be King Borinel, as he seems to be talking to a gnomish figure in a white suit. Merrick's Decaneth, right here, just talking to a couple of other people. You see him with his large red bushy hair just sort of tightly pulled back, and though it doesn't, although he seems to be trying to constrain as much as possible, his hair is just so frizzy that it is fighting against whatever constraints he's put it in. Perhaps his hair has the freedom of movement spell cast on it, as well, with just a tuft of fiery red hair and his telling spectacles. Again, you do not see Celera Irtane at the moment, or Quanti Dorian.
So while I know we're walking around and Crowley's looking around for persons of interest and stuff, if I recall correctly, while we got the name of Brayton Sithoff from Abet, we also got he didn't know much about him or what he looked like. Did he? I can't quite recall. Did he give us a general physical profile of him?
He did not.
Like how big he was. No. Okay.
Before Abet's end, unfortunately, that wasn't something that Abet was asked.
Gotcha.
He told you that he was threatened by this person and that he never got a name, but over the months that he had been doing what he was doing, he had heard his men called him Brayton Sithoff. He had gotten a name for him.
Okay. I just want to keep a general outside of the people that we know or recognize, if we have any general, anybody who looks kind of like they kind of carry themselves in a similar manner to someone with power, but that I don't particularly recognize.
Everybody here in this room is acting like they own the floor that they stand on.
Son of a bitch.
You do not see anyone in this room. You've from your teachings from Crowley, how you talk down your nose at everybody. Everybody is doing that to each other at the moment. There seems to be the only respect that you really see being shown as a point of stature or anything like that is if anyone comes up and talks to King Borinel, there is a bow given at everyone. Okay. And you hear them responding to him as like my king or my liege or something like that.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, other than that, as Crowley is more knowledgeable in these realms, I just want to keep an eye out for anybody who looks like shady. Anybody who kind of gives me like a red flag kind of deal.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
I believe that's a 15 flat.
Okay.
Make sure, because I don't think that's changed. Yeah, 15 flat.
All right. Well, Ganwin is sort of scouring the dance floor. Is anybody else liking to approach anyone or have any conversations or anything like that?
Quite the opposite from Milo. That's part of the purpose of the hors d'oeuvres, if people are less likely to talk to you when you're putting food in your face.
Okay.
Besides looking at what's in the glass cases, he's going to be looking to see, like, assuming there's some security, like, see where, if there's, like, he recognizes, like, oh yeah, that's a little spell turret, or, you know, those guys over there are, like, guards, or that armor can come to life to provide security of something, or something like that.
Make a perception check for me.
Not impressive. That is a 13.
Okay. With a 13, the security looks like the security presented. Milo is knowledgeable enough in the Arcana, though, that he assumes that it is, if there is some sort of defenses around here, though you cannot currently spot it. With where you are, you can assume that there are other defenses, especially with the king being here currently.
Roger that.
It's a question. Oh, can't
go
stop
ahead.
him. No, you first.
Do I recognize or see anything about the Sith-looking guy over in the shadows near Milo?
The Sith-looking fellow. This guy.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
You don't recognize him or anything. He just seems to be sort of standing there right now. Just dark robes over currently, and just sort of standing there, looking over the cases and what have you.
Okay, so he seems to be someone standing there with purpose then.
Correct.
Okay.
Oh.
Milo, you said you were inspecting the items, and then we'll go to Gorham real quick.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Are you just sort of going by each one and looking at them? How are you inspecting them? I guess talk me through it.
Nothing like too super in depth.
Okay.
You know, while I'm, eating, just kind of walking by, doing a circuit of the room, looking at both sides.
Okay. Currently you see various paintings and sculptures, different pieces of artwork, as well as some more elaborate sculptures large. You see a mithril and pearl statue, just sort of like outlined in mithril, probably about the size of a small bathtub that's just sort of perched up in one of these glass casings. That's showing like an elf standing over a human male, just sort of on an altar type looking thing, and she's sort of like brushing his cheek, with tears streaming down her face. On a calling card below it says temporal tragedy. And there's currently little boxes in front of each one of these, and small quill and ink, so people can like drop in bids and what have you. You see among these paintings, just sort of looking over them, look to be mundane, but you can imagine being where you are, they're just going to be ridiculously overpriced. And you see a couple of other things that are look obviously higher ticket items, like you see a jagged black sword is in one of them, just sort of suspended animation, slowly turning over and over, though it does look quite old, as well as a jewel encrusted helmet lies in one of these cases, again just sort of suspended in air, floating around. But yeah.
Sword, you say?
Correct, a sword.
So, no cloaks, I take it.
You do not see any cloaks at the moment.
All right.
And
well,
Pip, you would see that if you were to explore this dance floor as well, looking for these items. You do not see what you're looking for either.
well, I guess that's my time slot, so I'll pass it on to Gorham.
All right, Gorham, what would you like to do, sir?
All right, so I see a couple dwarves here on the map.
Yes, sir.
Do I recognize any of them? I assume I'd have to make a history check for that.
Yeah, go ahead.
all of a sudden, it's actually your great aunt's second cousin's brother, twice removed.
That's a nat 20, boys.
Oh
I don't know
shit!
what I had.
Nice.
Sounded
plus
like
one.
nat 20.
Yeah, let me
21, brother.
Let's go.
scroll to my notes real quick. Yeah, as you kind of scour the dance floor and find your eyes on these dwarves, this is a member of the house that KJ mistook you for, House Kundarik. But it is the patriarch and lead member of that house, Lord Morrican de Kundarik. He's sort of sitting there, nice trimmed goatee that extends down his chest, very finely slicked back hair, and just platinum rings down his back, garbed in a very fine suit tailored to his dwarven stout form. I'll let Gorham make his own feelings about the Kandoric clan, but this is probably more of the hoity-toity bunch of dwarves versus those that actually worked in the mines and dealt with your father and stuff like that. These guys were never really seemed to belong as much as the rest of you did.
Cool beans. Okay.
right.
That's a spicy conversation. Well, a spicy person to talk to, I guess. Is he sitting by himself, or is he?
He
chatting
seems
with
to be
people, or-
talking to another dwarf right now. Part of that, you can assume, you don't know who this one is, but you can assume also part of House K or some sort of liaison to House K. They're just sort of sitting there talking right now, and if you'd like to lean in and get a listen,
Surely.
go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Spying on people.
I've already used my good roll. How dare you?
That's it. That's the one he gets for like this month.
Let's see. A 14.
14. You get kind of close. You don't hear too much over the music and murmurs, and they're talking in hushed tones that are sort of muffled by their facial hair and whatnot. But it's not generally interesting conversation either, as they're talking about a large loan given to one of the houses that they're waiting on the payback for that they're waiting to get paid back, and how the interest is accumulating exponentially, how they're holding on to these items and they'll hold on to them forever if need be. It sounds like general conversation about a bank extorting someone if they don't get paid.
And Gorm's asleep at the wheel now.
God damn. Ruthless.
Well, I mean, like he said himself, it's like it's not terribly interesting. Like these guys are bankers.
Oh, banking. They're the banking clans. Oh no. Gonna have a bunch of warforged armies. Oh god.
They'd have anything that I would want to know. I'm just gonna kind of vibe, like walk around
All right. Anybody else?
for now.
I'm just enjoying the music. Standing at the stage, watching the band play.
All right.
Following Crowley's lead and keeping my ears and eyes open for anything that catches my attention.
Okay.
Gonna make wide circles, like eventually pass everyone in the party and say, like, you know, obviously I can't pass Milo because he's off the dance floor, but everyone that's on or near the floor, like, keep a lookout for Quanti the Orient and who he interacts with if you see him, and move on. Twirl away, as it were.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I know you said there's like over near the area where the bards are playing. You said there's an additional exit and this other double door right over on this side where these two guards are that you initially pinged. Those are the like two exits aside from the main entrance.
Correct. And you're not sure if this is an entrance or it necessarily goes anywhere. The one under the
Right.
stage, it is just another door.
Okay, so they're just 2 other sets of doors aside from the ones we entered in.
Correct.
Okay.
Oh, Jonesy, I'm gonna keep a close eye on this vampire.
Okay.
I know their type.
Racist.
All right. The the models were limited, so you don't you don't actually have people with weapons out in here, guys. But you
The
do.
king is just waving his sword around as he
Sure.
talks to people.
Exactly.
Like, well.
King Borinel, for those who are around here, do I see Gorham's breaking a move on breaking a leg on the dance floor over here. He took those dance
Bust it
lessons to heart. He said, "You know what? I'm going to get down right now." However, King Borinel, out of everyone in here, looks like he's ready for another war to break out. His armor, although finely made, is fully functional, like gold-plated armor. And he does have a blade by his side. And as I
Does it look
said,
nice?
not depicted. Does his what look nice?
His sword.
Looks incredibly nice.
Noted.
It looks like the sword a king would carry.
Noted.
And also his
Unadorned iron.
it's just a big metal bar on his side. That'd be more terrifying IMO. But anyways, as well as his 2 spectral tigers, which I'll actually put on the map for us.
His what?
2, as I described last
Sir?
time, 2 spectral tigers had walked in with him. So
Apparently, I forgot that. What the shit?
sounds like it. They don't have tigers or
Terrifying.
lions. Oh.
Like a spooky tiger. Like,
Kashik has now rushed to the stage and is doing karaoke.
There is no karaoke at the moment.
Kidding.
that's it. Again, I would
There you
have
go.
way more respect for rich people if they were like, "Yeah, we do karaoke." I'm like, "Oh, okay, word."
These spectral
Homie
tigers
got ripped off.
sort of remind you of Artyom's animals, except for there are in Artyom's forms that he takes, except for there are no tentacles or odd mandibles or anything else that stick out on the side. They look like a standard like animal, except for the fact that they are spectral.
Chill.
I'll probably like lean over to Pip and kind of just say in her head, "You're okay with rats, right? Like they don't bother you, right?"
Rats? No. I'm fine with rats. I like animals of all kinds.
Oh, me too. Okay. So, are you going to keep the rat with you, or should I get Gandalf to come over and take the rat?
I think you might want to get Gandalf to do it because gestures down at her dress. I don't really have anywhere to put it.
Oh, yeah,
the fuck?
it's fair. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, message Gandalf mentally. Gandalf, come get Beric. Put him in your pocket or something.
Wait. What do I need? Okay, just
Can I ask you
direct.
guys to just make a sleight of hand check for me?
Okay.
I say since
Sure.
both of you are doing it, one can roll twice with advantage, or one can, or each of you can roll.
Go ahead and roll.
Let me do that with
Advantage.
I figured as much.
22.
Okay.
Hey.
Just like direct, like nudge crowd, like I need to get Beric apparently, and just kind of steer over to.
So yeah, Crowley will move and will exit the dance floor as need be.
Okay.
20.
And then
I have a rat in my pocket. Pocket rat. It's like pocket sand, but alive. Fucking throw the rat.
You're more than welcome to throw the rat at somebody if you really, really need a distraction.
Like, oh yes, King Borinel. So that's yeah.
All right. As you guys sort of group up, and start handing off Beric very surreptitiously, so as not to arouse any of these people in here, or get the attention of anybody in here, rather. You have a waiter come up to each of you. He just sort of walking up to the circle, fine tuxedo, holding a like silver plate with a couple of champagne flutes on it. Yes, champagne for you, and just sort of holds it out to Gandalf and Artyom at the moment.
Sure.
Sure.
Around
I was gonna-
one of the stems, you see just a small piece of paper. Stems of the champagne flutes. You just see like a small piece of paper wrapped around it.
Okay. I'll take that one.
Yeah, I'll just take a random champagne flute, and
Okay.
I'm going to hold it like I am holding a bottle. Just holding it by the top of it. I'm like,
Yeah.
like, yes. Sip.
Okay. All right.
Very, very bubbly.
Artyom taking this piece of paper and reading it. This paper is addressed to Crowley, but as they know that you are the party members that accompany Crowley, and them not immediately recognizing him, that you have received this note, on which it reads that one of the items is not as it seems. Watch who bids on it. The painting, the larger statue, the temporal tragedy, Milo, that you were looking at earlier. Watch who bids on this item, follow the winner. And that's all it says.
It says watch who bids on the temporal statue.
Correct.
Tragedy. The one with
Okay.
the elf and the person on it. That's what you said the statue was, right?
Correct.
So,
Yeah, I will pass that information along weirdly through everyone's brain, one at a time.
Okay.
That I got a message slipped to me. This is the details of the message, etc.
All right. So
Definitely to lead us to Sithoff. Crowley is going to sit there or stand there with all the what's the word I'm looking for here? The look of a young woman wanting someone to dance with her. So putting that out there and let the bait fly. Let's just start reeling it in.
make a charisma check for me. Just roll a d20, add your charisma.
This is a very small cup, Artyom.
Oh, I made a fucking charisma save.
I saw it.
19 plus 5.
Nice. Okay. You have several suitors as you sort of break away from Gandalf and just sort of stand on the edge here. You have several people. As you start seeing the music get louder, the musicians stand to the sides of the stage, and it looks like a more of a dance is starting. People who are having conversations start breaking away from the floor, start standing on the side and closer to the tables, having their conversations there, and several other people just sort of out there start a more formal dance. It is around this time, fashionably late, that you see a familiar face. It's the doors open, walking into the room, and you see Quanti d'Orient stepping into the front. As we will place him right over here.
Creepy dude. Creepy dude.
Lex Luthor.
He is also not brandishing his weapon as he is shown here. Funnily enough.
Or choking somebody too.
Yeah,
Does he have that vibrating sword? Does he have it? Is it with him?
Not that you can see on his person.
Damn it.
However, he walks in, looks around the room, just nonchalantly walks up to the king, King Borinel, gives a bow of respect, and goes out. And let's see, actually, as you're sort of sitting here, Crowley, what sort of suitor are you looking for?
Obviously one at the tippity top of the totem pole.
And
yeah.
So of the notable names that I've given you, Borinel, King Borinel doesn't seem to be really interested. Even his conversations, from what you guys, seem to be brusque, and he's not really much about talking to these folks. He's just here to make an appearance, it seems. Merrick's to Kenneth, not I saw that. Marries the Caniff, not really finding people to dance with. However, I do need to make a perception check really quickly. Okay. However, you do catch Quanti's eye as you're just sort of standing there. He finds you and he stares at you for a moment or two. He begins to make his way over to you before he halts his steps. Kashik, you see approaching you, Quanti Dorian extends out a hand and says, "May I have this dance?"
All right. I take his hand. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna take his hand. Go dance with. What the fuck am I supposed to do? Tell him now.
Quanti brings you out onto the dance floor.
Bust it down, Koshik.
Bust it.
Oh God.
One of the dwarves comes up to you, Crowley. The head of House Kundarik, Morkan, comes up to you and extends a hand out to you.
We'll do a bow and then accept his invitation and let him lead Crowley to the dance floor.
Okay.
Got a fucking squat today.
Listen. I'm sure there are dances just for this size difference.
He seems to act like the size difference does not exist.
Oh shit, a real dancer. I got you. That's
confidence.
I look over it again when this is dancing.
I'm just doing my best to look casual while keeping an eye on my companions that are now seemingly in imminent peril.
Nose up, nose up.
Yeah, I'm just. Yep.
You see me indicating. Nose up.
So there are going to be a couple of conversations here.
My champagne flute like a bottle.
Okay.
I do. Oh.
We're going to start off with Crowley. Crowley, as the music goes on, so there's going to be a little bit of time jump here as we go through one conversation. These are sort of happening concurrently. Crowley, as the dance starts, he brings you out onto the dance floor, leading you out. His hand he does raise it up above to your lower back. However, as the music continues to go, his hand continues to go as well, as it moves down from the lower to your back to your rump. As he's just sort of making small talk with you. Nah, I don't remember seeing you here last. Who are you? Why are you here?
My name is Astrid La Luna. It is my first time to Sharn.
Astrid, that's a beautiful name. Where do you hail from?
I hail from the south, near Flamekeep. If I'm remembering my directions correctly.
Flamekeep is way north of here.
Okay, well, north Flamekeep.
Ah, beautiful city.
Religious girl, keep it above the waist.
He does not seem to pick up on that, or intentionally ignores it. So, what brings you here then?
Besides, I hear this is the center of Port-Vert when it comes to culture and learning about many of the. I just want to see the airships, honestly.
Aye, but Astrid, that does not bring you into this room. What brings you here?
I was hoping to meet a dashing dwarf such as yourself to perhaps show me around the city.
Make a deception check for me, Crowley.
Yes, absolutely. Why am I typing roll 1d20? Let's go. That is a 13.
That beats his 4, so he seems to be enraptured by your beauty at the moment. Hi, you seem to have met him, lass. So, shall we get out of here early then?
Perhaps. I wish to dance a bit more, though I never imagined I'd meet a dwarf as charming as yourself.
He seems to be, he ends up, bring you in closer and like dipping you, which he's a strong enough dwarf, so he's able to do so if you allow. But an accomplished dancer, at least he knows at least somewhat of what he's doing here.
Yeah, if he's accomplished, I make it seem like he's even better with my skill on the dance floor. So there we go.
Go ahead and make a performance check with advantage.
All right. Here we go. 21.
All right. Yeah, no, without an issue. You guys are currently taking the floor by storm.
Just gotta leave him wanting more, you know. Obviously, one dance, and then I move away to my next partner. But like, just give him the smolder from across the room. Obviously.
Okay. All right. As you leave his hands, he's like a dog who has lost his favorite toy. As he sort of starts following you back over. You son of a bitch. Kashik. Quanti extends his hands out, waiting for you to approach him as he takes the lead in this dance. Starts off slow. It's just sort of a two-step back and forth, not saying anything at you at the moment, just staring intently into your eyes, as if he's just sort of burning holes through your soul at the moment. Not really saying anything. After go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Nope, go ahead. You're about to say something. Go ahead and say it.
I'm gonna get sassy, kind of saucy. Okay, saucy is the better word. I'm gonna raise an eyebrow, and I'm just going to say, "Like what you see," and carry on.
Incredibly so. So I ask, what brings you here?
I'm just visiting Sean with a couple of friends.
Ah, a tour of friends. Visiting.
Wait, what did he say? Sorry.
He's just saying a tour of friends.
Just a few.
Just a few. Ah. Are they here with you now?
One, my date.
Ah, but you sit here and dance with me. How wonderful. I feel accomplished.
He's not much of a dancer.
Ah. He's, as you say that, and takes you and twirls you out and brings you back in.
Hold on, let me bust it down in Tailspire.
Okay.
There we go.
God damn it.
Carry on.
So what is your name?
Kashik kind of panics, and first thing that comes out of her mouth, Ilsa.
Ilsa. Well, it is a pleasure, Ilsa.
The pleasure's all mine.
My name is Baron Quanti the Orient.
Ah, Mr. Deorian, I know exactly who you are.
I can imagine as much. My reputation does seem to precede me a bit. So where were you touring with your friends before Sean?
I don't even remember where we just went. Why so many questions, Mr. Deorian? Or Mr. Orient? Quanti.
Quanti will suffice.
Ooh. First name basis.
I am an inquisitive man.
And I'm a mysterious woman.
Oh.
And with that, I will try to spin away. Spin away and walk back to Milo if I can get away from him.
Okay, that was a slick fucking response.
As you spin away and break your hands from him, He just sort of.
But I do want to turn back, sorry, like look back and shoot him a smile, like over my shoulder, and keep walking.
Quanti does not smile back.
Oof.
Uh-oh.
I go Kashik coy.
Ominous.
I know, it's like that one in particular. She's got it.
Are you gonna try to swoop in there, Crowley?
You know, I'm spiraling away. I might as well. Let's just do it. This is what Crowley's made for.
Okay. As Kashik spirals away, Quanti is just eyes locked on Kashik at the moment. You take his hands as you sort of spin him away from Kashik. His head continues to follow her for a moment, not even sort of recognizing what's sort of taken him here, and eventually his head comes back to you, and just a slight smile.
Forgive me, my lord. I have a dwarven prince who is far too handsy. I hope you'll forgive my rudeness.
None is taken at all, as his attention seems to be drawn elsewhere at the moment. But breaks away, dances with you. Unless there's any sort of conversation you would like to have with him, he dances in silence. And
no, that's perfect. I just want to know where his eyes are drawn every now and again. Just swift glance, like, you know, not obvious. Just like, oh, you know, stop paying attention to me. A little bit pouty, as any girl would be, but there we go.
After a few moments, you recognize his eyes are darting back to the same place. Oh, or not very frequently, and it's pretty subtly. But his eyes and iris currently drawn towards Kashik.
Oh, you said ire, so this okay. Gotcha.
As he's sort of dancing with you, and go ahead. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
I have nothing more to say, but you know, whenever the song stops, I'll just pull back about, because obviously he's not too interested in the dance, and I'll move around, but I'll keep like close to his vicinity as I move to the next partner. I imagine it's just people rotating and whatever.
Okay.
Would I have noticed that he just was just constantly keeping an eye on Kashik throughout that entire exchange, even after she left?
You pretending to be Crowley's bodyguard, so I would assume your attention's mainly on Crowley at the moment, as you see the dwarf starting to get a bit handsy with him. But you do see, as Crowley sort of switches off to Quanti, his eyes are not on the dance or towards Crowley for the some of the time. He does seem to raise his head and give a glance towards Kashik. It's not hard to see at the moment. He's not being surreptitious with it.
Even after Crowley breaks off, I want to keep an eye on him.
Okay.
At some point I'm definitely going to try to motion for Gandalin to come in so I can talk to him.
Okay.
Yeah, I will do so.
There's been about 6 to 10 minutes of dancing here between these two partners, unless there's anything anybody else would like to be doing during this time.
I do want to, after I spin away and reapproach Milo, relate to him exactly what has happened with the line of questioning and my worry that I have made him a little bit grumpy.
Okay.
Milo has no immediate response to that other than to look you in the eye with the somewhere between dumbfounded and horrified expression on his face.
I'm looking back with the same expression. Emphasis on the horrified.
Yeah, moved Milo over closer to the wall, where he is very, very, very slowly baby sipping his champagne while kind of keeping an eye on who bids on that statue as per Archium's advice.
Okay. It doesn't seem like you have people approaching it, looking at it, and admiring it all over the place right now. You have several people stepping off to the sides, admiring all of these items, all of this artwork. They're just sort of sitting there, you know, a couple of artsy people. Oh, I do believe it does speak to the tragedy of an elf loving a man. And they walk on. It's sort of those types of people. Other people just sort of walking by it as well. The bidding has not opened quite yet, so no one is currently bidding on it. But you notice people just sort of making their rounds, looking at all these items.
Gotcha. All right. Well, not much of a dancer or a talker, so tiny baby sips of champagne while looking at Kaushik in horror.
I'm gonna whisper to Gandalwin. I don't know what Kaushik said to Quanti, but he seems to. His attention is on her completely. Make sure the others know not to get too close to her. I don't want him making out any pairs of us or knowing who she associates with.
Glances over at Milo and Kaushik standing together.
Crowley's like, it's okay for that. 2 is fine, but more than that.
I told him I had a date.
Well, I don't know what you said to him,
Yeah,
is the point, but I'm going to tell him, tell Artyom to notify everyone immediately. Keep some distance, but keep her within sight. And then he's going to switch to the next dancer.
All right.
Sure.
Just twirling around.
Do that, I guess. Just like. Quanti seems like he's keeping an eye on Kaushik. Tell everybody else besides her and Milo to kind of keep their distance from them, but keep an eye out, just in case.
Were there any other members of House Cannith besides Merrick's?
Not that you're noticing. And Merrick's has been talking the ear off of one person in general. You'll make a history check for me. Just really quickly.
I do not know this person.
Okay. All right. Very well. He seems to be chatting the ear off of somebody, but no one else. If someone else comes up to him, he just gives them a quick couple of looks. He's not a very charismatic man. Head of a house he may be, but he just seems to have gotten there through definitely through other means, because it surely wasn't his personality that did so. He comes and actually stands beside you for a moment, as you not really addressing you or noticing you, but as he's looking at the hors d'oeuvre table himself and just sort of like scouring things, and like piles up. Manners seem to be lost to him, as well as he piles up a couple of things on his hand and starts nibbling on one, like double dips a chip. It's he's a somewhat awkward man.
What is his reputation as the leader of House Cannith? One of like being a great artisan and innovator, or just good at organizing the house itself, or what's his reputation?
Give me another history check. I'll say since you have actually worked not directly for him, but for him before, it'll be an advantage.
Okay, that's good. Nat 20. Holy shit.
Nice.
I rolled a 3 and a nat 20 respectively.
Nice. You guys are killing it. That does not bode.
On the knowledge checks, just wait till combat.
You know, Merrick Kenneth has gotten to where he is by one, death of family members. People have just died and he has been promoted to this position, but also because he is incredibly intelligent. He is one of the most renowned artificers in all of Eberron, like across the world. He is known to be, thought to be one of the smartest minds that has ever graced the face of this world. So while his table etiquette and manners may not be top tier, his mind is, and that is how he has gotten and maintained his position. Other than his bloodline, of course.
Again, Lorge.
Well, Milo, as nervous as all hell as he is about it, is not going to pass up this potentially once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And when Merrick's is over there stacking a plate with hors d'oeuvres, he's going to kind of awkwardly approach him.
All right.
Master DeCanneth,
Yes.
how's the party treating you? Nice food.
I suppose. It's okay.
So, you're, fantastic, inspiring even, and, I also work in a similar field. I've worked for Kenneth before, and I wanted to maybe run some theories by you and some strategies and innovations I've been working on.
Yes. Well, he sort of takes his food that he has sort of piled in his hand and puts it back onto one of the plates and dusts his hands off, seemingly now more entrenched in the conversation than he is into the food. It says, yes, tell me, where did you work out before? Which one of my laboratories did you work at?
I'll taking just a little bit of confidence from his seeming interest in the conversation. I'll give him the name of where I worked, and saying, and
I've also done a lot of research on my own. I have a number of personal projects, and I have this fantastic theory that I've been working on practical applications for, using matrices of manic inlaid in a spell glazed porcelain that you used to coat metal. It does fantastic things.
and he's just gonna go off on like this technical explanation about the technologies that he was experimenting with to develop the Black Dragon armor.
I have an important question for you, Milo.
Yes.
When you tell him which laboratory you worked in, do you tell him the truth?
I mean, it was not something that was secret. He was a public employee, so.
Very well. Interesting. He seems to take a moment, and you just see like thoughts running through his head, like probably on each side of his mind. But have you thought about manipulating in the porcelain with a certain way, where you take all the planar energies, incorporate it in before you meld it to the metal itself with the inlay? However, this is I've found has been more effective in my way. And he goes on and explains to you in sort of in this nerdy back and forth as much as possible, like brings this new idea into your head about infusing the armor with sort of different elements.
So it's like probably like frantically when Merrick starts talking, like we're shaking hand, taking out a notepad and a pen, and like, oh yes.
Fascinating. I never would have thought of doing it in quite that way. What material, like, do you have what solution would you use for applying that?
And just like kind of getting into the nitty gritty of the science behind all of it.
Right. He will back and forth for you with a moment. I'd like you to make an insight check for me.
That is a do I have a bonus is the question.
I don't know.
I rolled a 3.
9.
That is a 9.
Oh, oh my god.
7 plus 2.
Merrick is incredibly interested in what you're talking about, feeding back good ideas to you as well. And as you're sort of talking to him, as smart as Milo is, his immediate adaptation of ideas that he is fed through and sort of spins them around in his mind is stunning. It is incredibly to see how quickly that he computes what you're talking about and just sort of spits back out at you other applications of certain items, or how you could possibly affect and sort of manipulate what you're already working on, and continues to do the same thing. You would also know, let's see, I would say with the nat 20, just sort of backtracking here with a history check, you know that Merrick Cannon, although not a charismatic fellow, does make public appearances, as is necessary of someone in his position. These past couple of months that you've been gone, but before that, he had not made any appearances since the mishap with the what you saw at Moorgrave University. I'm sorry, I'm stammering a lot right here. He's not really been seen in public since his machine to bind an elder elemental to a what is essentially a mech suit of sorts, a war machine of some sorts. He hasn't really been seen in public since then, but continues on to have this conversation with you, and you see exactly why he is in the position that he is, and just sort of shoving food into his mouth and like shuffling it out of his beard when enough crumbs get stuck, and it just sort of rains crumbs onto the floor. But yeah, he sits there and has a very long conversation with you.
Kenneth, or Merrick's to Kenneth is probably the closest thing Milo has to a personal hero, so he will engage with him for as long as the man will deign to speak to him.
Milo, can I get you to make a raw charisma check for me? I'm gonna say
that's a tall ask, sir.
I'm gonna say with what you're talking to him about and sort of the subject matter of the conversation. Actually, you know what? I'll make 2 checks for me. Make an Arcana intelligence check and then a raw charisma check with advantage.
All right, that will be a 13 on the charisma check.
Okay.
And a 24 on the knowledge arcana check.
Very nice. After talking with him a moment, you do have quite a sharp mind. I would actually love to get more ideas from you. How long are you in town?
I'm not entirely sure, you know, but I'm sure I can make time. What do you propose,
Well,
Master
I have
Cannon?
several projects that I'm currently working on, and you seem quite adept. Where did you get your start from? Are you a Mulgrave man?
Yes.
Ah, very well. No doubt
Milo vibrates.
Perhaps we could... I would like to very much to confer with you more. If you would like to meet me there. I have an office in the Artificers College.
Vibrating intensifies.
I would be
Why are you buzzing?
absolutely honored.
Very well. Make it so then. Doesn't set up a date with you, doesn't say anything more, and just sort of goes back to his food.
Walks up to after, kind of stares after him as he walks away, and then after he's gotten a little bit away, he's gonna walk back over to Kaushik, put his hand on her shoulders, and
I just spoke to Merrick's to Cannon, and he wants to speak to me again.
I very obviously don't know who that is, but I'm gonna mirror his enthusiasm because I'm supportive of my friends. So I'm just gonna be like, congratulations, Milo!
The champagne he had previously taken like a few baby sips out of, he's just gonna like bottoms up.
Oh, shit.
Very well.
Turn it up on whatever day of the week it is.
It is quickly replaced from your hand, Milo, as Wager just comes out and brings, as he sees you down, it brings out another one in your hand before the glass is completely empty. This staff is on point at the moment.
This place is awesome.
you see one of them, Milo, as you've sort of been around Merrick's and anybody else that was sort of paying attention to this encounter. There seemed to be one waitstaff that has been assigned to Merrick's to clean up after his mess and to sort of reassemble the food that he just sort of puts on the tables. They quickly replace the plate and put it back in as he double dips. One swoops in and just waits for Merrick's to Merrick's to sort of just turn his head. They take the dip that he has double dipped in and replace it with another bowl of dip. So he seems to be assigned his own personal liaison here.
Yeah, Milo will be taking a seat after that encounter.
Okay.
Legs are a little light.
Unless there's any other conversations anybody would like to do. Yeah.
After I relay the message to the party about Kwanti having a lot of focus on Kaushik, can I make an insight check on him to see what type of expression he's having towards her? If it's like one of interest or one of like this bitch up to something.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll.
Never mind.
What's the roll?
Well, total it's 8.
Okay. He seems to be interested in Kaushik. You can't really gain like the meaning behind it, but just interested in her.
What a creep.
The only other thing I would want to do is, after relaying that information that Crowley asked me to relay to Artyom, I would like to return to trying to do my best to keep both Crowley, as she goes about with other dance partners, and Quanti within my line of sight as much as possible.
All right, what was I heard you want to keep Quanti in your line of sight. What was the first part of that?
Crowley.
Crowley,
Like,
just...
keep try to keep as much as possible, keep to where I can see both.
Okay. Very well.
Probably simple. I'm probably around near.
Exactly. That's what I was like. I figured it would be a relatively simple task to keep you within the both of you with the same cone of vision.
You guys, as you're keeping your eyes on these people, you do see this sort of silver-haired elven woman. Well, I'll snatch off stage now. Comes to speak as Quanti seems to be having small talk with King Bornell himself. These three sort of gather around and begin speaking. You'll know this to be Celeria Irtane, the hostess of this gala. She just sort of steps back from the from where the kitchens were, brings and just sort of walking out with a champagne flute in her hand. Her gray hair just sort of pinned back with these ornate like silver and platinum bands that hold them down her back in this it looks like the dress itself is looking into like a different space and time. It looks like when you look at her dress, it sort of like shimmers and you see views of different views. Like you see an ocean view at one point as she walks away, and then it just sort of as she walks by sort of fades back into a shimmery silver material, and train going back down the back of it. But she walks up to Orion and King Bornell, gives her due respect, Bornell giving him a bow, and gives a slight head nod towards Orion, just as a show of respect for who he is, it seems. She, after just some brief introductions and small talk, Melgrim and Gorham are actually close. If I can actually get y'all to make some perception checks for me. That is not where Kaushik is. The board is active, so I would like you to just put yourself where you would like to be.
15.
15? All right, Melgrim.
24.
Jeez. Okay. All right, yeah. As you guys are just sort of sitting there grooving to the music, doing a simple sidestep thing, you start to hear this conversation kick off. Melgrim or Gorham, you get the basics of it. That wiggle kills me. You get the basics of the conversation. And Melgrim, what you hear is, Quanti, I am so terribly sorry to hear about your recent incident. It's been all over the news lately. I do feel so deeply horrible that has happened. Has any more information come up about it? Unfortunately not. There seems to have been no, we are not sure exactly. Luckily I was not present on the train myself. However, it is going to be quite expensive to fix, unfortunately, and will cost us time and money with travel down to the Largo from the higher kingdoms. So hopefully it is an issue that we can get fixed quickly. No, I do hope you do so. That is such quite a tragedy. Please keep us updated and let us know if there's anything that we can do to help. Bornell is fairly quiet and stoic during this conversation, seems to be not very interested in what's going on in front of him. Just sort of like this guy again is as disinterested to be here as a lot of you guys are. This doesn't seem to be quite his scene either. But as she does it and the music starts to fade a little bit on stage, she says, but I must take my leave now. Please enjoy the food. And she gives another bow to the king before heading off and heading up stage. Sort of addressing the entirety of the crowd, she says, Lords and ladies, thank you for coming here this evening and gathering once again for the Taint Gala. As small smattering of claps around the dance floor. As the DM pulls up his notes, time stops. Once again, we gather here to network and to share ideas, thoughts, and also to raise money at our auctions at all of our beautiful items here. Please feel free. Bidding will begin shortly. However, as most of you are aware, all of these items are going to be going towards the new Dalian Irtain School of Advanced Dungeoneering at Allgrave University. In memory of my husband, the nine rest his soul, hopefully we can do some good and send out many more successful adventurers to the lands beyond. So, please have a wonderful time and let the bidding begin. She sort of holds her hand. You see some people start filtering out to the sides, looking over certain items, gathering the ink and quill on the side, sort of writing something down, throwing it in the wooden boxes and what have you. What is the party doing during this time?
Having had some time to calm his jittery fanboy nerves, and after that little introductory speech, seeing that bidding has resumed, we'll go back to keeping an eye on who bids on the statue.
Very well. Does the party
continue keeping?
Go ahead.
What's that? I was just saying I'm continuing to kind of keep as much of an eye on Quanti as I can.
Okay.
Without, like standing on top of him.
Very well.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep an ear out for any talk of our lead and probably flirting with Pip some, talking about animals or something like that.
I'm going to stand next to Gandalf until he's ready to leave, or when it's time for him to move. I'm just going to be there.
Yes.
In between chatting with RTM, just kind of looking around and trying to see if there's anybody that I really know, any kind of like subtle signs or signals that I may know somebody or they may have something for me.
Okay. Make a perception check for me.
Okay. Let's see. Yay. Oh, that was painful. 7.
Your circles do not really travel here. This is by and far, much like the rest of the party here, this is by and far highbrow society, not really where you find yourself very much. These are the people that your uncle would associate with sometimes, but even this may be a little bit rich for his blood. And also he typically likes to keep to the shadows more than anything else. Sort of working in the backgrounds. Probably a couple of potential employers in the past, but no one that you currently recognize. After a few moments of the bidding going on and everybody sort of throwing their bids in, you do see a couple of people throwing in bids for this statue as you're sort of keeping an eye on them. A couple of the artsy couple that you saw earlier, Milo, drops a bid in. A couple of other people come up as well during this time. I would like you to make an insight check for me as these people sort of come up and bid on this statue. However, while you're making that check and the bidding is going on, you see Celeria disappear around the back, going back down into the back hallways once more. And after a few moments, she is leading out this glass case on rollers. Large glass case, probably standing about 6 or 7 feet tall, on wheels that are sort of being backed out by about 4 guards that are brought out. Once more, she takes her place on stage and says, "And for our keynote item of the evening, the cloak of King Galifar the First."
Oh, son of a bitch.
You see this sort of old looking mottled blue cloak with large like sun emblems on the chest, like going around down the back of this thing, flowing and just sort of ever slightly just moving, and this color seems to sort of shift with it as they roll this item out. You see instantly, probably you hear a couple of gasps when it's called out. A couple of people go around and instantly start bidding on it. Yeah, people are very interested in this item.
Would I know who that is? Like, I know it's a king, but I recognize that was like the guy.
Go ahead and roll a history check.
Oh,
See,
boy.
anybody-
Can I also?
Yeah, anybody that's interested.
I don't.
Not a very hard DC.
I don't know. Unless it's lower than a 4.
Unfortunately, is not.
15.
15? Okay.
Nat 22.
Also a 15.
15.
21.
22.
That insight check was an 11.
Okay. All right.
I was like,
Go ahead.
21.
21. Anybody who rolled north of a 15, King Galifar the First was the first king. This is. I don't want to go through all of the different rolls, but anybody who rolled north of a 15, you know that this is the first king, and this cloak would be about 1,000 years old. Again, King Galifar the First. So as much as it, you can only imagine how inflated the price is going to be, not only for whatever it might be capable of, but due to the nature of the owner and the age of this item, it has gotten some attention.
It's just a fucking cloak. What's the big deal? That was the problem.
Pip, you recognize this as the item that your uncle has sent you out to obtain. The rest of you, seeing this as the only cloak in here, can assume that this is what you guys have been here to come and gather.
Crowley's with me, right?
Yes.
You're now standing with me.
Yes.
It's kind of like whisper over to Crowley, like, so I assume that this is the cloak that we are supposed to, acquire.
I would be surprised if there was any other cloak that could match its importance in this auction.
Can I just say that we are about to fuck ourselves once more? Just go ahead and do that real quick. Okay.
As long as you do so politely.
Sure. How are we going to split this up? Because we still need somebody to keep an eye out for whoever wins that statue.
You focus on the cloak. I'm sure some of us will be able to stay behind. I, for sure, certainly will stay behind and focus on it. We're going to need to leave separately anyway.
All right. I will do my best.
It's important to note that whenever he does leave, inspiration.
To Gandalin?
Yes.
Okay.
How long does inspiration last?
10 minutes, so it's going to be done right when you leave.
Gotcha. And this box, where did it enter from?
It entered from the back hallway, from.
So that back door that was near the stage.
No. It entered from where the
one
food
on
and
this
waste.
side?
Correct. It is entered from right here.
On this. Okay.
Yes. And gathering the information that Saiden Boromar has given you, you assume that this is the back hallway that he is talking about.
Okay. And there are guards currently there.
There are guards currently there.
All right. Okay. All right. I'm gonna kind of meander my way over there.
Okay.
Like not to the door itself, but like that side of the dance floor.
Yeah, board is active. Go ahead and move yourself where you would like to be.
Just kind of scoot my way about, kind of on this like back edge. Kind of. Is it actually just these two guards? It's only the two
Correct.
that are visible. Okay.
You see,
And are there
you
wait
see-
staff actively going in and out?
there are.
How are they dressed?
They are dressed in like fine black tuxedos.
Okay.
It is fairly standard across all of them. They're like fine black tuxedos, white undershirt, and like a black bow tie.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk, just kind of like seem like I'm meandering, but manage to get in line of vision of the guards and do just kind of like a little casual hand gesture, which is actually thieves can't, to see if they notice, and if they may, either of them might gesture back.
Okay. You catch the eye of one of them. He looks at you confused for a moment, says something to the guard beside him, walks over to you. Can I help you?
Oh no, just walking around trying to see who else here. I got sidetracked. I was looking for the hors d'oeuvres. Could you point me in the right direction?
And he gestures his hand at the table immediately behind you.
Just giggle. Silly me. I guess I've had a little too much champagne this evening. Thank you so much. You turn around and start filling a plate.
Gives you a nod and walks back to the door.
I'm debating how frequently and how larger groups are they coming in and out of that door.
You have a fairly steady presence of wait staff going out onto the dance floor itself, replenishing drinks. Certain notable figures and the ones that need more care have like wait staff actively out on the floor itself, just sort of looking after them. Food is being replenished, wine and everything. It is not quite slowed down yet.
Okay.
When one of the waiters or waitresses next past me, I'd like to flag their attention quickly and ask them if they have a place that I can relieve myself.
Ah, yes. Surely. Right back this way. And they bring you back here into this hallway.
To the hallway that the thing came out of?
Correct.
Hey.
As these doors open and they lead you back here. I don't have a real room for it, so we're just gonna say it's like right here. Back in this hallway. In this sort of dark lit corridor, and they just sort of said, right here, sir.
Oh, oh man, I cannot navigate through this.
I think you need to drag it through the door.
Oh, okay.
You gotta go. So you can't skip. You can't hop over the walls or anything. Kent.
Well, no, like my elevation keeps resetting higher. So it's like
Just smack it.
I'm just looking at a roof the whole time. I have no idea where my character's even at now.
You were.
Are you on the roof? You're not on the roof.
Can we not? Oh, we can't like teleport ourselves to where your piece is at.
No, but he should be able to if he double clicks on himself, I think.
Yeah, I can.
Oh, here you are. I found you. You're by the table over here. I can drag you in there.
Here. Look at him go. Grease light.
I don't have a bathroom drawn up, and that's silly
fine.
of me, so I'm gonna say it's right here.
Okay. As I'm walking out the room, I'll I'll just send a mental message to Pep going, it looks like the bathrooms are back this way, so maybe you and Gambling can go in that direction one at a time or something. I'll let you know how it works.
Something to note, the waitstaff does wait on you as you sort of beckons you in there and just sort of waits in the area.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go use the restroom.
All right.
Come back out. Give everything a sort of slow, meandering walk. Maybe seem like I'm taking careful steps or something like that, and see what I can get a peek of as I am in these back hallways to sort of relay what information I can to the rest of my party.
Okay, make a general perception check for me.
Sure. 24.
The 24, very nice. This is a rather dark and plain back hallway. The thing of note that you see here, Site and Boromar seems to be correct in his information. Once again, there's a set of doors back here that are right here on the lights. It seems to be where items will be picked up and delivered to their destination or whatever the case is. You don't see any traffic currently right here, and there are no guards sort of stationed at them at the moment. Other than that, it's a fairly plain hallway except for a door right here that is fairly bustling, back and forth open, and you hear the clangs of pots and pans and a chef yelling at someone, "It's goddamn raw!" and then you going on about his business.
Right.
As food is being brought in and out of there.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'll go with the waiter back out to the main hall.
Okay.
I appreciate your assistance.
Of course, he's sort of sitting out there with a damp towel for you to like do your fingers and hands on as you leave.
Okay. How big of a towel is it?
Like a hand towel.
So like pretty small?
Yeah.
I'll just wipe my hands off with it and put it in my pocket.
A brief moment of confusion, then just a head nod and doesn't say anything. Very well hidden as much as you can be. They get guests from all different sorts of cultures, so very, very good at hiding is brief confusion as you pocket the damp towel.
All right.
Brings you out into this door. The doors are like automatically closing behind each one.
The doors automatically close, or they just swing shut?
Yeah, well, they're like swinging doors. Yeah.
I thought you were saying they have like, they're magically sealing. They got some really high-tech security in here. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Okay, Jones.
Yes.
If they're like servants are kind of coming very frequently and in like small groups and everything as they just kind of go back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
What I would like to try to do is just kind of slip into one of the like smaller, like is it they're a pair or like a trio or something, and kind of like socially sneak my way through those double doors without necessarily being of notice.
Okay. I'll say you have a pair of two that are sort of wheeling out a cart at this point, getting any sort of dishes that are empty, putting them onto the cart and putting out fresh dishes as well. As this sort of silver cart that they're both sort of manning at the moment, replacing all of these tables out here. Tell me how you would like to socially slip in here.
I'm basically trying to Assassin's Creed this bitch. As like
tell me
like,
what you mean.
Slightly blend with them as they make their way through the door, like just for long enough that the guards wouldn't necessarily go, "Hey, where are you going?"
Okay.
Kind of deal.
Follow a group of monks as they go in the back.
Kinda, yeah. Because if there's like groups of if there's like servants coming in and coming out, and like I figure if I could kind of like swoop, that is what I'm attempting to do.
Okay. I would like you to make a deception roll for me.
Oh, son of a bitch. Okay.
After your deception roll, who is going to be not towards the guards, but for the waitstaff themselves, okay. I would like you to roll a stealth check to blend in with these with this waitstaff.
Okay, so deception first, right?
Correct.
Okay. How big is the die, Crowley? feel like I'm gonna need it.
It's a D8.
The D8. Okay, we go ahead and set that to the side.
Yep.
All right. So D20 first.
You have to say you're gonna
Natural
use
fucking 20.
it. Nice.
I like no shit.
I will say, if you have inspiration, you have to say that you're gonna use it on that roll before you
okay.
roll.
Okay, well, natural 20. So
Okay.
as you will.
All right. As you're sort of doing this, hey, new guy, grab the other dishes for us on the other table. Real
I
quick.
just nod and just like, yep, okay. I just grab a couple plates, like, oh yes. Ooh.
Fucking Merrick's made a mess again. I'll handle that. You help him push this cart in the back, please.
Thumbs up.
And one of the wait staff breaks apart and goes over to Merrick's, who is still nomming on some shit. You blending in. Go ahead and roll that stealth check for me.
All right, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say I will add the D8 to this because it only lasts 10 minutes, so I would like to make sure.
Go for it.
Oh, gonna need it. 22.
Very nice.
That was from a 3.
Okay, 22 you said?
Yep.
All right. Both of the guards just sort of scanning over you two as you go by, don't really seem to notice much as the doors open. The cart rolls back over here. I'm sorry. The roof is in my way. There we go.
Rolls back where in this hall?
It's rolling back to this doorway right here is where the cart is currently going to.
Okay.
Drag yourself through the door itself. I will do it.
I'd like
there.
I'd like to shoot a message to Milo
Okay.
and ask him, Milo, I'm going to let my senses fall away for a little bit, so kick me if I need to be addressed or something.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then I'm going to alter my perceptions to Barrick wherever he may be hidden on.
It's in my pocket.
Okay.
Have you
In a jacket
moved
pocket.
yourself to be near me, or
No,
I don't see you on the board?
I should be near it. I probably will be sitting at this chair right here, near Kaushik.
Kaushik is currently doing a table dance.
Woo!
Board is active, remember that.
She's like the drunk girl at the bar. She got up on like
A little bit too much champagne.
jamming.
All right, Ganlin.
Okay.
As you're sort of following this person back, they go into the kitchen area. They start rolling the cart back into the kitchen area.
Okay. Like, am I actively assisting them with this cart, or are they just kind of like
Correct.
going off by themselves?
No, you're actively assisting this person with the cart.
Okay,
They're sort of as they're pulling it back.
Yeah. I'm gonna kind of follow them into this kitchen area
Okay.
before. Hopefully, I assume, having been in a kitchen before, there's enough chaos. I'm gonna try to slip away from this person.
Make another stealth check for me real
kitchen
quick.
insanity. All right. No. 26.
Very nice. Okay, without an issue. You see this portly human just sort of yelling instructions, this tall white hat on his head and a white coat, sort of yelling instructions across the kitchen. Points at you as you sort of like grab something in your hand and start walking back out of the door, and he's whatever, and goes back to yelling at other people.
Okay, I'm not trying to go back out the door necessarily. I'm just like to get lost in the chaos of the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to see if this is the only door in and out of the kitchen area.
This is the only door that you see.
Okay, B, is there any knife of a size that would count as a dagger?
Yeah, I'll say in a kitchen there absolutely is.
I would like to just palm it.
Make a sleight of hand check for me.
Don't stick it in your
23.
pocket, please.
23. Okay.
Like just grabbing it and like shoving it in the pocket that does not have a rat in it.
RTM, your vision on Barrick goes dark. Now I'm just playing.
Oh god, rat blood everywhere. Oh god, Jesus.
Without an issue, sort of slip it into your coat pocket really quickly. Large not butcher's knife, like a chef's knife that you pocket. You sort of have it in your hand over this like fish that someone was preparing and was walked away, and then you just like act like you're preparing as the chef looks at you, points a finger, sees you're doing something, goes on about his business. Pocket it.
Yep, pocket it, and then I'm making my way back out the only entrance, trying to make it back along in towards this back area where apparently there's the exit.
Okay.
So just coming back out this door and just trying to, as unobtrusively as possible, make my way back this direction.
Very well. There's some traffic here and there. You see one like sous chef looking guy comes in from the back door here as you see these doors open. White coat as well, tall white hat, like takes a puff of something smoking and throws it out into the ether as he opens this, comes back in. What are you doing back here? Smoke break? You fucking needed to run this guy. And
I just kind of give him like a finger gun, like, you know it, buddy, and like like basically trade places with him.
walks back in. He doesn't seem to be outside. He's just sort of like chilling at this back door area. Yeah. He walks on by, but other than that, there's little to no traffic back here at the moment.
Traffic. Okay, perfect.
And I would say with going into Barrick's senses, RTM, you'd sort of get the same vision and hearing.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to make myself as unobtrusive in this area as possible, like as least noticeable. I don't know if it's as bare as it is here in Tailspire or not, but
it's pretty bare back here. This seems to be just at like a service entrance.
Is there any other doors aside from that back exit and this bathroom? Apparently,
that's all you see.
All I see.
When I went into the bathroom, how big was the bathroom?
Maybe like 5 by 10. Not a very large bathroom. Like enough.
So like a single person bathroom?
Right.
Okay.
Okay, you said there's little to no traffic, so I'm basically just gonna try to blend in as much as I can with not catching anybody's attention for the moment as I just kind of chill for just a minute.
Very well.
While we get a feel for what's going on and see if I will hear or see this giant case incoming.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay.
Good.
All right. Very well. Milo, you do see several bidders on this statue. Having split your attention though with an 11, you can take note of everybody that's done it, but nobody that's necessarily catching your eye. That is bidding on this statue currently. Notably, Quanti d'Orient does not bid on this statue. There are several just normal folks that come up to do so, to bid on this statue. I'll place them over here.
So none of the other notables did. Merrick's, Borinell, the Lord Mayor. You already said Quanti didn't.
Quanti did not. None of the other notable figures that you know of have.
Okay. I'll do my best to keep an eye on the less reputable people.
All right. And you do so. I've sort of dragged a couple of figures over there that have put in bids on this item. And you also have a very artsy couple, which I'm going to go ahead and say is the vampire and the tiefling right here. This is the artsy couple.
It's racial profiling.
I have them as the artsy couple in my notes, so.
Okay. Keeping note of that, after about 30 minutes or so go by of the same, just light music playing in the background, people bidding on these items. Is anybody putting in bids on items?
You're kidding me, right?
I thought it would be funny. I don't know.
Let me look into my trust fund real quick.
Okay. Is there anything that nobody has bid on?
No, I'd say everything. With the amount of people here, everything has been bid on at least once. A couple of the paintings, like smaller paintings, are going somewhat unnoticed, especially when the Cloak of Galifar the First is rolled out. So you see like one or two of the paintings that have gone somewhat ignored, but nothing is completely ignored throughout here.
Gotcha. I would say hit him with that 1 gold bid when it's the only bid.
I will say that I'm going to move to a table and seat myself momentarily, but when my hands are below the table, I'm going to give myself inspiration and cast what's it called? 1 second, I have it pulled up. Enhance ability on myself.
Okay. What are you giving yourself?
Eagle Splendor.
Very well. Advantage on charisma check. Go ahead and roll me a sleight of hand with advantage.
Okay, cool. Shit, 8.
For a total
Oh,
of.
you did. No, those were both 8s.
Okay.
Well, you know what? I can give myself advantage because you haven't told me what if that's a success or not, so I can add that to the roll. So
Okay.
why not? An 11.
I'd like to also get up and go look at the statue in question or the piece of art in question,
Okay.
and see what the ballot box or however they're taking, however they're recording it, like how big that container is.
It's maybe like 8 by 8 by 8. It's not very large at all.
Okay, and people are just putting like folded pieces of paper in it?
Correct.
Okay. And it's just like a small little slit that you can put the stuff in?
Yep.
Okay.
I moved myself there as well because I am also looking at it. Just the statue itself rather than the ballot box.
Okay.
I've moved myself next to this person with a braid.
Okay.
And if they're not actively writing on their ballot, if they're just like looking or waiting, I would like to strike up a conversation with them.
Okay.
I would just like to say it's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, you're speaking to very much garbed like the current mini is, a nice black cloak over these clothes, an elven man with sharp features. Speaks to me.
No, what does it say?
Have you ever fallen in love with a human? Glances at your ears and right back to the statue.
Can't say I've ever been in love with anyone.
You want my advice? Don't.
Sound advice.
Oh, poor baby.
Writes his name and number on it and throws it into the box.
Did I see what his name or number were?
Make a perception check for me.
Okay.
Puts his phone number on there. What are his digits?
I'm gonna text that man right after I text Lord Alfred. You said perception, right?
Correct.
Kashik said she gonna get that number. She might not be Miss Right, but she can be Miss Right now.
God damn it.
So it's a 15 plus 8.
Holy, you guys are on it today.
Whoa! That was my.
My perception is good.
Damn big bonuses though.
Them big bonuses though.
Nice, dude. Nice.
The name is smaller. You do see it. Give me a moment. But you do see what he writes down, and at least his bid is at 208,000 gold.
Holy shit.
As he's sort of writing it in, and you see A. Ranfir. He puts a first initial, it's just A, and then last name Ranfir, Wranfir.
I would like to write out Bobolopoulos for 20 gold. Just like some random name.
Okay.
and fold it in a piece of paper and put it in there. And when I do, peering into the space inside the slit,
Mm-hmm.
I want to summon Barrick inside the ballot box.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
And
I
then
lost
I'm gonna-
Barrick.
And then I'm going to immediately go sit back down at the table next to Milo and say, Milo, I need you to get that. Milo, I need you to get that band out and record their name, I tell you.
Looking incredibly confused, I'm going to move past the notes that I now hold sacred from my conversation with Merrick's. And I'm going to start like kind of side-eyeing and
I'm
like,
just gonna sit
Whenever
down
you're
and
ready, I guess.
look off into the distance and start rummaging around in this ballot box as my rat and just start reading names off and speaking them with my body.
Okay. All right. This isn't for free though. I want you to make
Okay.
a quick sleight of hand check to summon Barrick in there without anyone noticing.
It's within 30 feet.
Right. This is summoning him in there without anybody noticing. And
Okay.
then I want you to make an investigation check with Barrick.
Okay. Hold on 1 second.
All right.
This is going surprisingly smoothly so far, guys.
Sleight of hand 17.
Okay.
Fuck up,
I had to
Gandalf.
say something.
All right.
And then investigation is 19 plus what's my investigation? 22.
Nice.
Very nice. You see, all right, are you getting amounts or just names?
Names and amounts. Rats have dark vision, so I'm just reading it off.
Okay.
Just rummaging through them.
All right. As you're sort of going through the names, little mouse hands like flipping open folded pieces of paper, Barrick like pushing it out.
Awesome.
Third check for me. Make a stealth check for Barrick.
Sure. Oh no. Okay, I hope rats have good stealth check.
They should have decent stealth check. Oh my god. Doesn't matter.
For
'cause-
I mean, 14? They only have an 11 dex apparently.
I didn't.
I don't know if you'd say they're proficient in stealth. 16 if they're proficient.
I didn't roll above an 11, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As people are sort of just listening to the lull of the music in the air, putting in light conversations going on between the two, between Kaushik and this other person here. You see most people are just doing like first initial, last name. You see K Ravaven, Ravaven.
Riboflavin.
Hit me with that one more time. R-A.
Ravaven. I'm getting Skype notifications.
That's so Raven.
That's so Ravaven. M Miabella. It's M as in Mary, and then Miabella.
M-I-A-B.
ELLA.
What were the amounts on both of those?
The Ravaven has a total of 150,000 gold. Miabella has a total of 180,000 gold. I have told you that Ranfear has a total of 208,000 gold. And then you have a G Tralana for a total of 375,000 gold.
My goodness.
300
Total
what?
of what?
G Tralana, Tralana, 375,000 gold.
How much
Alrighty.
gold do we have?
Not that much. Not even close.
This is a really big money.
We are currently at like 36,000 gold, like for party funds. We don't scratch the surface of the kind of money these guys got.
These cards sort of describing the items do have a minimum on them, so unfortunately Milo, you would not be able to win with 1 gold. Aside from the various paintings and sculptures, you see these items going up to, like, the sword has a minimum of 795,000 gold. The helm itself has a minimum of 95,000 gold, and the cloak itself has a minimum of 1 million gold.
Judge, would you say that's a long sword?
It is a long sword, yes.
I just want to point
So
out
bad.
the insane juxtaposition between where we are and where we just came from in New Kyrie, where nobody had anything, and then now where we are, where everybody has so much. It makes me so mad, honestly.
The disposition doesn't just go from New Kyrie to here. From bottom Sharn to here is a drastic difference.
Right,
You
yeah,
guys
yeah,
just
yeah,
came
that's
from the bottom near the Khalistan district, where people are living in refuse and despair. So it is quite the contrast to see what is happening up here. Okay. So
Are
those
those the only names of note, basically?
correct.
Okay, cool.
There are other like this. The sculpture itself has a minimum of 45,000 gold. These are these are the amounts that are above and beyond that.
Right.
What do any of those 4 names jump out, like surnames? Are they surnames of note?
Doesn't seem like it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, of those names that he's telling you, there's no sort of well, you know what, you've lived in Sharn, I'll give you a history check.
Nice.
It'll be a fairly difficult DC, but none of these names are notable people.
History, you said?
Yeah.
That'll be
You cut out if you said something. I heard that'll be
24.
24.
Nice.
With a 24, I'll say you've heard of at least 2 of these names. Revaven sort of fits the artsy couple that you've seen. You know of a Revaven art gallery that exists in Upper Sharn, not on the floating city itself, but in the higher wards of the district below you. They just run an art gallery and sell art themselves, so this makes complete sense for them. And then Mia Bella, you'll know, is and sort of and you don't know much about them, but you know about Mia Bella logistics. They seem to own you know the name because your father, who works on the precarious districts, actually works at a Mia Bella warehouse, who owns a lot of the warehouses on that district, or at least operates them.
Fair enough. I feel a guilt when I remember that I haven't checked on my parents yet.
The one that had 325,000 or whatever was G something or another, right? It was the one that you don't know anything about.
375 for G Trelana.
Yep.
Sounds like the winner to me.
So far.
So far, nobody else has bid on it.
You keep that rat where he.
Yeah, I was like, I guess I'll just make like a stealth check for Barrick to be like Metal Gear Solid into the corner, so that
Okay, he's just gonna stay in the box for a moment.
yeah, he's gonna stay in the box for a little while until I guess like the bidding starts to get done and I can sort of poof him back to safety.
Okay.
Ganwin is still trying to figure out where Barrick is. He's like, oh, patting down by. He's like, I lost him.
You squished him, you monster.
I lost him. Well, I mean, I didn't squish him because he's not squished in my pocket, but he's gone. Like, I must have lost him in the kitchen. Oh no! He's in there somewhere. I can't go back for him. Good luck. Good luck,
Gandalf has a brief fantasy of the rat learning to cook, hiding under that man's tall white hat.
Oh, dear God.
Baratui. Anyways, we're gonna continue on here as the bidding wraps up for all of these items, and people have come. Slurila Irtane ends up announcing the end of the auction, going up saying you have a 10 minutes left if you would like to place any bids. Again, this is going to the Delern School of Advanced Dungeoneering, please open up your hearts and your coin purses to this cause. And as bidding wraps up, Quanti, still just sort of scouring the floor, gives looks at Koshik, talks to a couple of people. A lot of people, for anybody's sort of around, extending condolences to Quanti for his, what has happened to him recently, and just sort of acknowledges it. Gainwin, or no, not Gainwin, I'm sorry. Yeah, Crowley, who's sort of kept an eye on Quanti, is looking, still sort of glancing over at Koshik every now and again, but continues this conversation throughout the night. Doesn't bid on anything, with the exception of the sword itself. Goes over there and starts, throws a bid into the sword, for those of you still watching. However, the bids wrap up and they begin. Kislane comes. Go ahead.
How big are those pieces of paper?
Maybe like, depending on the person's handwriting, but they're just sort of like strips of paper, maybe like 1 inch by 3 inches.
Like the size of a business card, or smaller?
A little bit smaller, a little bit thinner than a business card, but about as long.
Are they like cardstock thick pieces of paper, or
they're like parchment, like nice parchment?
Okay. What are the rules for a familiar eating something?
I would say eating this parchment, Barrett could easily do, but it would destroy whatever he is eating.
Right. I would like to eat the highest bidder before poofing him back.
Okay. So you're gonna have him eat G Trelana?
Correct.
Very well. All right. Without an issue.
Good job, Barrett.
I have no idea what this is for. Artyom's opinion is that this probably is some sort of like secret meeting thing for one of the bad people. So if this painting doesn't go to one of the bad people, it's probably a good idea. So he's just going to make sure it goes to the second highest bidder and just going to nom up that piece of parchment, and then we can investigate the name later.
Okay. Very well. Eats
All
up
right.
the piece of paper. And they start calling out. Celeria once more steps up onto the stage. The band quietens down, starts playing some music, some very, very soft music behind her, sort of setting the ambiance as she's announcing the winners of this auction.
Yeah, obviously I would get Barrick out of there before people start opening up the box.
I figured as much. The ballot boxes are collected. The items are left off to the side currently. The various arts and paintings are announced off. The sculpture is one of the last ones of these items, of the paintings and sculptures to be auctioned off. Again, you had names in there that had just very high bids in them, but it was one of the lower minimums of all of these items out here. So it is being called out with that lot, that group of things. And as she calls it up, for temporal tragedy, we have, oh my, quite a popular item. Goes to V. Loriquinol for a hefty 750,000 gold. Yeah, light applause and everything.
Oh, so that was just completely fucking wrong.
You did not see that name in that lot.
Okay.
Who won the sword?
Can I get that name again?
Yes. V as in Victor, Loriquinol. Loraquinal.
That sounds like a medication.
That's what I was about to say. I was like, Lord Zyrtec.
Lord Zyrtec.
Lord Claritin and his lady.
Benadryl.
Lady Benadryl. However, they start going through the other items after that. The helm of Geraldus the Defender ends up going for 350,000 gold to another member of this party, no one that you guys are aware of. The sword of Christane the Cold is
Cool.
I'm sorry?
I said that sounds so cool. I want it.
Is won by Baron Quanti de Orion. And the cloak of King Galifar the First goes to King Bornell.
Oh,
Nice.
fuck me.
As these items are announced and the winners chosen, sort of in the same lots that they were called, the items are beginning to be wheeled out of these out of the main room here. Beginning with the smaller lots first, and sort of one at a time to give sort of room in that just one at a time and distance in between each one by a couple of minutes or so. The smaller paintings are wheeled out, smaller sculptures, the things not of note. And then in the beginning lot, or the ending of the paintings and sculptures lot, the temporal tragedy sculpture is wheeled out back as well.
Out of curiosity, could I hear from where I am the announcement of who won what?
Make a perception check for me. She is using a bit of thaumaturgy to project her voice, so there's a chance.
21.
The 21, it's very muffled and you're having a hard time hearing over it, so you'd have a hard time hearing all the details, but I'll say you hear names that are called out, especially a name that sort of rings out through the air to you of Quanti de Orion winning something.
Quanti won something. So I can't tell who won what. So I wouldn't be able to tell that King Boronel is the one I'm about to try to rob.
With the noise of the kitchen right there and through a couple of concrete walls, I'm gonna say you just hear the names called out. You know that King Boronel's name was called out last. So if you would like to roll an intelligence check for me,
please, for the love of God,
go ahead. And,
He's so dumb.
He's so dumb.
That's 6.
You know King
That
Boronel's
tracks.
name is called out last.
Oh my God, I'm about to try to rob the king of the country we're in.
As
Okay.
these
Money
items,
hasn't changed hands. It's not his yet.
Okay, whatever. It is what it is.
I'm going to kind of say in Pip's mind, maybe you should go clean up in the restroom. Since it seems like things are about to start being carted in that direction.
And I'll give him a nod and I'll, walk over.
I'll pull out that rag, the damp washcloth, and
Okay.
I will wrap a Barrick in it and hand it to her. As put something dirty in your fingers that you're trying to wipe off, but don't drop him, please. He's very fragile.
I'll take good care of him. I know he means a lot to you.
Bites him into the ground.
all right, so
It just walks through the door and smacks them.
telling one of the wait staff that you need to go to the restroom. They lead you back without issue. You find where did I just drop you? Okay, you find Gandalf just sort of sitting out of the back, like acting like part of the wait staff, just like cooling down in the air. Gandalf, as you're sort of
like,
back here
by the
listening.
door, like wherever the sous chef was. Kind of like, yeah, I've been supposed to be here.
You see these doors start to open back here as several different sky carriages are rolling up now and are just sort of right there. And nobody's at there right now coming back with these items, with these first items sort of being rolled around. You do see guards accompanying each one though. And
How many for each?
currently it seems to be about 2 guards for each item.
Okay. All right. I'm playing it cool because I don't see the thing we're supposed to steal yet.
Okay.
La, 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 yep.
All right.
Oh God.
As they're wheeling everything out, I'm going to shoot a message over to Crowley, basically saying,
Hey, so seems like we're getting close to the end of this thing. What's the plan?
And that is where we'll take our break.
Ah.
Fuck! Oh, no!
Thank you
was an
guys so
amazing
much
plan. I
for
hope you
tuning
got it.
in. I saw we got a couple of follows. Spider Monkey Man, I did not miss your Wild Magic Surge. Spoons, I did not miss your toot. These items will happen. Thank you so much, Brittany, for the reminder in chat. Guys, we still are raising money for Extra Life, making our way to our $3,500 goal at $2,500, I believe. I think is our next milestone. If you scroll right down here, you'll see our panel though that shows our milestones. We're giving away a Steel Series gaming mouse, and then at $3,500, our ultimate goal, we're going to be giving away Steel Series gaming, Steel Series rather, gaming keyboard. So, open up your hearts and wallets, just as Celeria Irritane has said, to this generous cause. Coin purses to this generous cause. We're still raising money for Extra Life, and we're doing a lot of good. Actually, if you don't know what Extra Life is, all of the money we raise for them goes to the local children's hospital, the Children's Miracle Network near us. Ours is Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. These help sick and injured kids all across the United States and Canada. So again, a great cause, something to donate, and you get a really sick chance to win lots of cool items. And also, we're going to be giving away a random dice set. Or no, we found that person, so never mind. We won't be. Maybe we'll do more interspersed gifts throughout this thing. But do that. Drop a follow if you haven't. Help support us. We'll be back and give us about 15 minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Bye.
Hello, everybody. We are back. It is us, all of the same people that were just here a few minutes ago. And we are getting into something that requires a music change in our lovely battle map here. As the party has been socializing for the most part in this area. Let's see some good, what's a good tense music here? I don't remember anything.
Lo-fi chill vibes to not get murdered too.
I second that, actually.
That sounds
Not
pretty
being
good.
murdered sounds good to me.
Music to not get by.
All right.
This sounds like we're gonna get murdered.
As you guys have been socializing around, while keeping a close eye on who is bidding on this statue that you've been told is not exactly what it seems. And other items, Quanti has won an item, and I'm sorry, as I pull up my notes again. A person by the name of V. Lauren Quinal has won the statue itself, a name that Barrick did not see in the box. For a grand total of 750,000 gold, much over the bare minimum of this art piece of 45,000 gold. So you have a name there. You have the art pieces that are being rolled out one by one with a couple of minutes in between each one. However, the cloak, the piece you have been sent here to take, has been won by King Bornell himself. You figure that this item may be the last item that is rolled out of here. Some people do start coming to the conclusion of the event and the gala, as Christine says, I'm sorry, not Christine. Celeria tells everyone to have a wonderful time. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for opening up your hearts to us. The party starts to enact their plan to make this happen. Coming around the back end of all of the art items, the sculptures, and everything else is being rolled out. You see an individual. This person is not a furball. Start walking with it. As I try to put him through the doorway.
They're walking the cape.
No, they are currently walking the statue, followed by a couple of guards from different areas as these guards start to peel off and follow items back.
Oh, okay.
Currently, the statue being led back. I'm sorry, my roof keeps getting in my way here, so let's lock that there. is being led back here. And Pip and Gandalin, you see walking back here, the statue being pushed back by 2 guards. And you hear a sky carriage outside. You see before you a human man, short, business-like beard, furrowed brows, in a just very, very simple but nice tuxedo. As he gets a little bit closer, Ganowin, you see a couple of piercings going up the left side of his ear, as and sort of gray purple eyes. As he hops in and a sky carriage pops up back here, with this sort of open back end. He hops into the back seat. The guards, as well as everyone else, is stopping right here with the case itself, start to load it back. I will say, for the sake of this point in initiative, or we will start going by our initiative, which we rolled off screen, to save some time here. But that will put us on you, Ganwin, if there's anything that you would like to do.
Okay, so out of curiosity, is this the first thing to come through?
No, there have been multiple items to come through, the smaller paintings and what have you.
Okay. None of the more important magical shit has come through yet.
Correct. This is the first thing of import to the party that has been brought back.
Okay, well, as per my last communication with the party, I was tasked with keeping the cloak being my priority, so okay. I'm going to assume that they're doing their end of things, and I am currently going to hold just kind of as I have been, because apparently they're not really commenting on presence, so I'm just going to kind of continue to just be unobtrusive while I let them do their thing.
The guards are very, very focused on what they are doing currently. You have passed to these guards as wait staff. Pip sort of drying her hands off in the rag with Barrack back there, just sort of like slowly watching as these guys walk by. This front guy who is hopping into this sky carriage in front of him is very just straight looking forward, does not even acknowledge your existence.
I am, however, going to take as much note of what he looks like as possible.
Make a wisdom check for me.
Trying to memorize him.
Okay.
Straight wisdom?
Well, let me say this. It's gonna be. Are you gonna hold any actions? It'll take your action to sort of give a general perception check and take this guy
fine.
in. Okay.
Yeah, just doing my best to kind of take this guy in, because we said the message we read said whoever won this was of interest to us. So I'm just trying to remember this guy.
Very well. Okay. What's the roll?
So is that a perception or straight wisdom?
Perception check. I'll give you your bonus if you're proficient.
Perception's an 18 total.
Okay. 18 total. You take in all of his features as much as possible. Okay. You do see several rings across his hand that look quite fancy. None that stick out you too much with an 18. But piercings up along his upper ear, which somewhat stick out for this crowd that he's currently in. And he's just got some, like I said, this just short, fine trimmed black beard, hair slicked back to the back, and just these piercing, like gray purple eyes. As he hops into the back. Is there anything else you'd like to do with your turn?
I'm sitting tight for the moment.
Very well. That's going to bring us around to Melgrim. Melgrim, what would you like to do?
I'm just gonna chill where I'm.
Okay.
Taking in things.
All right. Anything you're looking for in particular, or you're just sort of watching where things are going? Currently,
watching where things are going.
Okay.
Yeah, just keeping an eye on quantity.
You're gonna keep an eye on Quanti?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Ending Melgrim's turn. Koshik, that brings us to you. What would you like to do?
So right now I'm at this table. I enabled my torch so you could see me a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to just keep an eye on the door the things going out the door, and also try to keep an eye on Quanti as well.
Okay. You do see the statue of note that our team has communicated to everybody that it is now has rolled out back through the door towards Gandalf and Pip. All right, and you keep an eye on Quanti as well. And that is gonna bring us to Artyom.
I will be still sitting at my normal spot in the table.
Okay.
And will attempt to wriggle free of Pip's grasp as Barrick and charge down the hallway towards Gandalf.
Okay, they're pretty close to each other, but you're gonna send Barrick to so the rat starts squirming in your hand, Pip, sort of struggling against your grasp. Unless you were intentionally trying to keep the rat here, you let me know. Are you trying to keep Barrick in your hands?
No, once I realize he's not just squirmy, but actually trying to get away, then I let it go.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Without an issue, Barrick leaves out of Pip's hand and heads towards Gandalf.
And if the doors are open and there's a stagecoach out there, I will just double move and try to yeet into the coach.
Okay. A standard jump for a normal, or not a standard step for a normal sized human being. However, for a rat, I'm going to require 2 checks for you here. Go ahead and give me a stealth check to go unnoticed by anybody here. In this dark hallway, I will give Barrick advantage on the stealth check.
Okay.
However, he needs to make an athletics or an acrobatics check in case he is proficient in either of those.
Okay. Well, the stealth check, since you gave me advantage, is 18 total. 20 if they're proficient. If you say that rats are proficient in stealth.
Okay.
And wow, fucking amazing rolls. What? Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at a different creature. Okay. That is a 19 on the roll.
Okay.
-4 from having a strength of 5 for a rat.
Okay.
So a 15 total.
Okay.
They got
They are
strength of
pulled
2.
up somewhat close, so I'm gonna say a 15 is somewhat of a partial success. Barrick is able to get to the outside of the coach, but is unable to get inside of the coach before the door closes and this figure is no longer visible. And I'm just gonna drop him off the map as as he loads into. Barrick does make his way onto like the foot railing of this sky coach currently, and that's where he finds himself. And Barrick gives a look down really quickly, and you see clouds.
Okay.
All right. Anything else for your turn?
I don't think I have any touch spells that can help Barrick in this situation before he gets really too far away from me, so that'll be it.
Very well. Ending Artyom's turn, that is going to bring us to Quanti.
I'll drop out of my sight stuff with him.
Okay. Quanti does not go to the back, but instead walks right by you, Crowley, not paying you any mind, and is going towards the front doors. It's right about there.
Those vicious.
Ending his turn, that is going to bring us to Milo. What would you like to do?
What was Crowley's response to me on that question I asked him via message before we went?
Well, we're going to try and do our best to grab the item and split up trying to get out and leave separately so as not to call too much attention to everyone in particular. We're kind of playing it by ear now since everything's in motion. Things are a lot bigger than we expected. Keep in contact with me.
That being the case, I'm going to approach Kaushik and say,
I think it's time for us to leave.
and a mental command to the drone to keep an eye on people leaving.
Okay. People in particular, people in general.
Did I get a look at what Laura Canal looked like?
He was following the crate out. I will say that with that announcement and sort of you following this pretty closely, yeah, you did.
Alright, I'll have them be on the lookout for Laura Canal. I don't know how sky carriages are structured, if you can see what they look like. I don't know what his carriage looks like, but if the drone can be on the lookout for him.
Okay. Very well.
And that's my turn.
All right, ending Milo's turn. That's going to bring us to Crowley.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Whenever the guards brought the item to the sky coach or whatever, where did they go after?
Currently, they are still standing there. They're like helping him load it in at the moment. So they are right beside Gainwin. I should put them a little bit further up, helping load this thing in.
Okay, I misunderstood that. Okay. I thought you were saying that they closed the door of the sky coach and just took off. I was like, oh shit, well I guess my rat's just gonna be hanging on for dear life.
Currently they have not taken off. Barrick is just sort of standing there or clutching onto this car railing at the moment. As the sky carriage is slightly pulled forward and they are loading it into this back compartment. Okay. Very well. Crowley, it is your turn, sir. What would you like to do?
Crowley's going to begin exiting the building, though going to remain behind Quanti, perhaps like 5-10 squares.
Okay. Yeah, you can go ahead and move yourself to Quanti is currently right here at the front of the building, making his way towards the front doors, just sort of intently walking out of the front doors. Is there anything else you would like to do?
No.
Okay. KJ's turn. Well, y'all don't know.
So.
All right. Pip, it is your turn. Currently, you do not see your bounty inbound. You currently see a statue, which I'm going to assume that our team did not communicate it to Pip because of obvious reasons. Let me know if I'm wrong there, but I'm assuming he did not communicate that the statue has any importance to Pip. But you do see the large pearl and mithril statue being delivered out the back door currently. Is there anything you would like to do with your turn here?
Nope, just stay out of the way and out of sight.
Okay. That is going to bring us to their turn. The guards are going to finish loading up right here. Loading the boxes into the car, finishing it as the car starts to pull off, and these guys start to walk back out.
So they
back
just
away from
go
you
back
guys.
the way they came?
Correct. All right. Gorham, is there anything you would like to do?
Let's see. Has the king made any moves yet? Is he leaving?
The king looks like he's getting ready to leave. He hasn't really moved yet, as someone's just sort of like boring his ear off. He's just like sitting there looking at them and letting them talk.
Do I see Crowley going to leave?
Yes.
Well, nudge Melgrim. Maybe we should start to go. Or not jump up on
Dashing across the tables, knocking food and no, I'm just playing. Gorham said, "I'm fucking ready to leave." Belly slides across the fucking tables.
Woo!
All right. So
It's
just
a party.
heading behind Crowley towards the exit.
Meandering over there.
Very well. Does that end your turn, Gorham?
Indeedably.
Okay. The next lot of items start to be filtered out. One by one, you see the helm being filtered out the back. You see the sword being brought to the back.
I longingly look at the sword as it passes me by.
Make a perception check.
Hell yeah. 8.
Black steel, black handle, several deep red rubies on the hilt.
How much did the sword
Still
sell
looks
for?
fucking dope.
The sword sold for, I'm sorry, let me look at the notes. Actually don't have what it sold for. I have the minimum on it. It sold for 950,000 to Quanti Dorian.
Oh, it looks so cool.
I think I said 850 actually, but yeah.
Still a shitload of money.
All right. The sword being brought back is followed by one additional guard. As these
An additional guard?
Correct. As these other items are followed out by guards sort of taking post right here at the door, and sort of like clockwork as these items go in back here, are rolled back here, and you see Pip would probably have direct line of sight. Ganwin, you currently would not. The statue is not in a glass case, a little bit too large for that. However, the sword is. The glass case is rolled over here.
It's rolled over. I just saw a guard phase through a wall, so.
That's interesting. No, right here, these three guards you see surrounded by right here.
I wonder if they're like.
This
I can't see the
character
guards,
who you
actually.
saw earlier, Artyom, makes his way back with these items sort of following along.
This is with just the helm and
The helm, the sword, and
statue
the next lot of items. Correct.
Okay.
Comes back there, mutters a couple of words across the lip of the glass case, and it slowly opens. With Pip, you would see like a just bit of blue arcane energy just off to the sides of this case as the lid lifts open. The sword's still just spinning, animated right there. One of the guards brings out a case for it. The character with just sort of reaches his hands. The sword still animated, just spinning, lays down in the case. It never touches the blade, and they close the case and start walking it back. But that's about as far as they get right there.
Oh, now I can see them again. What the fuck?
You see, yeah. So that's them. And that's actually going to bring us back around to you, Gandalin.
Oh boy. And so this is the sword, the helm, and just the next lot of items.
Correct.
Still no cloak.
No
as
cloak.
I want that sword. Like,
Okay.
And that's about where they are.
Correct.
Right
as they're rounding the corner at the moment.
I'm continuing to kind of hold my position.
Very well.
I think the only thing this would be a very specific hold action.
Mm-hmm.
But is if for whatever reason that the cape is getting ready to get past me, I will assail whoever is moving it.
Very well. Ending Ganwin's turn, that's going to bring us around to Melgrim. Your brother has told you that maybe we should start heading out, and it started heading towards the front door. What would you like to do with your turn?
Essentially, I'll respond. I agree. Start following him out.
Okay. Go ahead and move yourself to where you would like to be. Milo and Kaushik, you see Gorham, Crowley, and Melgrim start to filter out behind Quanti Dorian. Not getting too close, but just as if they're leaving the party as well. Ending Melgrim's turn, unless there's anything else you'd like to do, Melgrim.
No, the only other thing I'll do is kind of look at Artyom as I'm passing him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right.
All right. I don't know if you said anything else, and I can't see everybody's face.
No.
So okay.
I didn't say anything.
Just sort
else.
of giving
I
him
didn't say anything, and just kind of give him a look like, hope this goes well.
One good luck nod towards Artyom, and ending your turn. That's going to bring us to Kaushik. Kaushik, what would you like to do?
Am I close enough to Quanti to actually catch up with him as he's leaving?
With your movement.
I don't know how to do measurements.
With your movement and every square is 5 feet, so If you use your movement in action, you could probably get up to him just like he did. We're using standard, just general movements. You could, I would
cool.
say, if you were to use your movement action, you can get up to him. Still have a bonus left.
I do want to motion to Milo to kind of hang back a bit from me.
Okay.
And then I'm going to kind of power walk forward and call out to Quanti. Quanti. And as he's leaving, I'd like to keep pace with him and walk with him and have a conversation.
Okay.
Which I guess I can have now.
You have a bonus action left. I'll say that gives you a couple of words. What would you like to say? A couple of words.
If it's only a couple words, then I'll wait till my next.
I'll say like a few thoughts can be can be portrayed or put forth.
Got you. I just want to say, like, I'm so sorry if I left your good graces earlier. I was just trying to be coy and have fun. I saw on your face that it didn't quite land, and I just wanted to say that I do plan to be in John for a few more days, and if you want to reconnect, I do have I'm sure you have the resources to find me, and we can have lunch or something. Like, just try to like sweet talk him and like apologize and get on his good side in case he doesn't know that I'm a bad person yet.
Whoa, he's the bad person here.
Oh, in case he doesn't know that I'm a good person yet.
Damn, Quanti, excellent at gaslighting. Quanti looks at you and says, when you say that you're sure that he has the resources to find you, one of the first smiles sort of creeps across his face. No, mademoiselle, you have no idea.
Oh, dear God.
And turns and keeps walking. All right.
All right, lunch then.
Artyom, it is now your turn.
It's bathroom time.
All right. Very well. You can go ahead and move yourself towards the bathroom. Depending on how far you want to move towards it, you could keep an action, or you could use your movement and action.
I'll just go ahead and use my movement and action.
Okay.
I don't know how far that'll get me. Are these 1 square?
You're right. These are 5 foot squares. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Right here, right in front of the doors is where you'd be able to get with just your movement. With your action, you could get another 10, 20, 25. So you get right around here. Say at that line, wherever you'd like to be.
That's me.
All right. Any bonus action or anything?
No.
All right. We're going to consider this loose initiative and still blows start firing. So and if you have bonus actions that are thoughts or commands or something maybe that you can do, we'll go with it. You said
Yeah, as I'm walking out, I'll glance at Milo and send him a mental message saying, all right, I guess it's going to be dance time pretty soon. So there you go.
Wait, what do you mean dance time?
Milo strums his battle bass.
Just keep walking.
Okay.
Things are going to go tits up for sure.
As Artyom communicates this message to you, Milo, it is now your turn. What would you like to do? I will say, throughout the entire round, your drone sort of keeping an eye on this carriage, it starts heading down.
All right. It is
Into the
tasked
clouds.
with continuing to keep pace with the carriage.
Okay. What's your drone's fly speed?
Probably not enough with that kind of question.
Yeah, that's my assumption. Sky carriages are not slow.
Gotcha. Yeah, I know. It's got like a 40-foot or so fly speed.
That will not be able to catch up with these things.
In that case, it is tasked with getting as much detailed information about its appearance, like that would set it apart, like make, model, license plate number, that kind of thing.
All right. No license plates exactly, but keeping up with the makes of the air. Give me one perception check, or 2 perception checks actually for your drone, to notice a couple of different things.
All right. Oh shit! This bro is a +6. Cool. be a 19 on the first
Very nice.
and a 25 on the second.
Okay.
Holy shit.
With the 19, noticing he takes good recognition of some of these models, because there are several different models of sky carriages in Sharn. Currently, you see an pulling away, unremarkable model of car, still very nice, but unremarkable in make. Probably sky carriage made by Lyradar, but very pretty common as far as the make itself goes. Flies away with the statue in tow, and a rat. I think Barrick rolled a 19 on his stealth check, so your drone sees the rat just sort of clinging onto the railing. Which Artyom, it is just past your turn, and this car is now flying on. I would like you to make a strength saving throw for Barrick.
Barrick, yeah.
It's a 10 since they have a -4 to strength.
Okay, all right. Very well. Okay.
So that seems kind of weird, because it's like, I feel like that -4 strength kind of reflects them having to make a strength on the scale of a medium creature, not a tiny one.
Right.
But
Very, very well. Okay.
Good dex save.
The second, we'll get to that. The second thing your drone notices is your carriage that brought you here. KJ, you see, noticing people starting to leave out of the front door, is pulling up closer to the front door, sort of off grain of the or sort of like pulling up diagonal to the pattern of traffic that's going in here, and is just sort of sitting there, very probably about 60 feet away, so pretty close for sky carriages to be to each other in general, but it's just sitting there and like ready to go. Does that end your turn, Mila, or are you moving anywhere?
I would have started to walk with Kaushik, then hung back after she kind of indicated for me to not walk with her.
Okay.
And then if Quanti moved on after her, he would have caught back up to her.
One more thing of note,
30
Milo.
feet.
I'm sorry. One more thing of note. You notice alongside of KJ's sky carriage, a separate one doing a little bit lower than KJ, sort of like directly lower, a second sky carriage sort of sitting and waiting and doing the same thing. Not in the general flow of and traffic, just off to the side.
Where's Crowley at?
Crowley is towards the front door, towards Quanti.
Okay, yeah, I forgot what his model was. As I walk up and then kind of fall short of Kaushik so she can have that conversation with Quanti, I will send a message to Crowley saying,
Our sky carriage is ready to go outside, but it's not alone. There's one shadowing it underneath.
and that'll be my turn.
Okay. Ending Milo's turn. Who did you send that message to? I'm sorry, to Kaushik?
To Crowley.
To Crowley. Okay.
And I forgot about my drone with its action and movement, moving back towards the front to rendezvous with us.
With its movement, those perception checks counted as its action.
Okay, well, yeah. So with whatever it had left, moving back to rendezvous with us.
Okay, towards the front or towards the back? Where's it going towards?
Towards the front, where our sky carriage is.
Okay, I'd like you to roll a stealth check for it, please.
Dirty 20.
Okay. Very well, it starts to move back up closer towards the front. Ending Milo's turn, that's going to bring us around to Crowley. What would you like to do, sir?
You know, remind me, when that item was won, the statue.
Yep.
Did the lights, the figure that won, did we see them? Did they stand up? Like, where are they? And
They are.
Everyone.
The one who has won the statue is currently gone. They have disappeared out of your sights towards this back doors.
Okay. That's no good. Huh? And was that back door? That's where everyone else is going, correct? Or they were going actually straight ahead, correct?
That is where Gandalf, Pip, and Artyom have gone so far.
Okay.
And all of the other items are being taken back there one at a time, yes.
All right, so to Milo, it's like, hopefully KJ can lose them, but more importantly, let the others know that the one who won the statue is going to where they are, so they must hurry. And he's gonna move forward a little bit and try to make his way out, like he's gonna sidestep this unpleasantness over here.
Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna double move. Actually, like, girl, get your life together. And
no worries. There are a couple of like guards and other like wait staff here that are wishing everybody a great night. And thank you for coming by. And yeah, just sort of giving everybody and sort of like let us get your carriage door for you and all that. So are you stepping up? I would say with this action, since you were fairly close, you could get to the door and be let out if you would like to signal for KJ to come up.
Yes, I would like to do that.
Okay. With that, KJ will pull up and pick up Crowley on her turn. Pip. Well, actually, KJ, then Pip. So in that same instance, KJ pulls up and waits for you, Crowley, to step in. Pip, it is now your turn.
Say I can't see her model for some reason. Just
Her-
anybody else can.
It's right here. I don't know why you couldn't see it.
How far is 30 feet from me? Like the
Um,
first I was.
each of these squares that you see is 5 feet. But if you let me know what direction you're trying to go, I'll help you out and sort of point it out.
Like, so if I do a cantrip, can it go through a wall?
It cannot go through walls.
I'll go through a wall. Okay, so I just want it to be as close, like as far away from the back door as possible from where I am. 30
Okay.
feet.
So tell me what you're trying to do here. We'll see what.
I think, I think I want to do a minor illusion.
Okay.
And of Gorham holding the sword,
Okay.
and like he's making a bolt for the ballroom.
Okay. All right.
Wait, what?
Wait, can
The
is that
double cross.
possible within the confines of minor illusion?
The illusion makes no sound. It could create a small image, but there's no sound, no other things other than an illusion.
Because it's only 5 feet tall, right?
Right. So you could, I would say you could make the dwarf. Roll an Arcana check for me really quickly.
Oh, that's so funny.
This is just to see. I want to get your insight into the situation here.
Double crossed by my own mother. I never would have expected it.
Hell yeah.
Only 9.
9. Okay. You
Yeah.
summon up a and also a sleight of hand check for me, please.
Okay. That one's a 21.
Hey.
Very well. Without an issue, casting the spell sort of behind your own hand. Inside of this rag that our team has given you, conjure up an image of Gorham. The guards here turn in confusion at the moment and look after them. This person right here gives a side eye to it and then just sort of starts looking around. This person does not seem to be fooled by what has happened. Very well. Let's look up something really quick though before we move on from here.
Just like standing with a sword.
Right. Yeah, I don't think it can move is my thing.
You can move it like as part of your action, I think. Or no, that's silent image. I don't think that's minor illusion.
Right.
Right.
You can, if she's a wizard, she can move it if she's an illusionist.
It doesn't say whether you can or cannot move it. It just says you create it in a 5-foot area. Can't create sound, light, or any other sensory effect. Physical interaction with the image reveals it to be an illusion because things can pass through it. A creature uses its action to examine the sound or image. It can sort of determine it. Yeah, there's nothing that says it can't move or can move. So
one thing that might make that a little bit weird is that it says you create a sound or an image of an object.
Right.
I don't know if you can use that to create like creatures or people.
Good point.
Image of an object. Yeah, sound or image of an object within range. Yeah, that gets kind of dicey with illusions. I mean, what are people except for animated objects, right? I would say with that knowledge, you would know that it wouldn't really work for you here because you wouldn't be able to move it, and it would just be there. You also making people is like you wouldn't be able to make them move as much or something like that. It wouldn't be very convincing to anybody around because there would be no other sensory effects along with it other than just the silent image.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Would you like to do anything else though? So we'll just retcon all of that. Nothing has happened so far. What would you like to do?
In that case, nothing. I'm just still trying to lay low and like stay out of everybody's way and not be noticed.
Okay. Easy enough. Nobody seems to be really paying you guys much attention back here. They seem to be very focused on what they are doing, and unless anybody makes a move towards them, they don't really care. They are just holding on to these items and are following them back one by one. All right. Ending Pip's turn. It's going to bring us to the guards who finished their move. If I can click on them, who finished their move up to here, Gandolin?
I still have models just blinking in and out of existence. This is very disconcerting.
You may want to move your green bar up a little bit. They may be blinking out because you got it a little bit too low. I'm not sure.
They should be on the same level as me. I can see myself.
I don't know. There's
I don't know.
4 models right here next to you. As an Orion carriage pulls up, the sword is put into the back and drives away. All right. These guards are going to make their way over here. And start heading towards the cloak itself. These guys will use what movement they have back here, not very far, to circle back. Right. Ending their turn, that is going to bring us around to Gorham. What would you like to do?
Even get out of this hellhole. I don't know how far I went. Hold up. I'm not like running, so.
Right. This is probably your movement speed. Oh wait, you got 25 moves, so right about here will be your movement speed. You can use your action again to get up to the door. I'll say with a movement and action and bonus this turn, you can all get up to the door with Crowley, if that's what you would like to do. Gorham does not have a fly speed.
The game says otherwise. Okay. Well,
all right.
Yeah, I'm at the door. I'm leaving. Get out of here.
Okay. Ending Gorham's turn brings us back to the top of the initiative with Gandolin.
Okay.
The sword is currently loaded up into the car. That car is driving away.
Car can drive away. Still
Okay.
haven't seen what I want quite yet. However, I'd rather not let them get all the way to the door before this goes down. So I'm gonna do for this turn is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 feet. And just come up on this wall here.
Okay.
Kind of meandering, like I'm just like, oh yeah, I've had enough of my break. I'm just making my way back that way. That's my movement, same as last time. I will hold an action that if the bearers of the cloak get up to me to begin, attempting to assault them.
Okay. Very well. Ending Gandolin's turn. That's going to bring us around to Melgrim. What would you like to do? All right. Loading up with Crowley and Gorham into KJ's carriage. Anything else for your turn, Melgrim?
Nope.
All right. Koshik, that brings us to you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna head out the door, I guess.
Okay.
Get the heck out of Dodge.
Loading up with Crowley, Gorham, and Melgrim. RTM, it is now your turn.
All right, I am gonna come power walking around the corner and just kind of say to those guards, like, "Look, you gotta go, so be it. Excuse me."
Nobody really pays you any attention as you sort of forced by them, saying that you have to use the restroom.
Yep,
Okay.
that's no go.
All right. I would like you to roll a d10 for me.
A D10,
Yes, sir.
5.
Make a acrobatics check for Barrick, please.
An acrobatics check.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Natural 20.
Okay.
Holy shit.
I don't know what his He's got an 11 dexterity.
All right. Very well.
Did you know your familiar was a gymnast?
He's used to being a bird, I guess. I don't
Eric
know.
said, "I'm fighting for my fucking life." Oh,
I'm just imagining he has just like little claws just in there, and his whole body's just flapping like a flag post.
oh no.
All right. Does that end your turn, RTM?
That's my full turn. Yep.
All right. That's gonna bring us around to. Oh no, my notes. I don't know if Quanti is before or after Milo. We're gonna go say Milo's first. Go ahead, Milo. What would you like to do?
No, Quanti was before me on previous turns.
Thank you, because I have it written in between two names, and I'm not sure what side he fell on that.
On previous, he went before me, so.
Quanti steps up, waits for the rest of you to load up into KJ's. He is just sort of sitting there currently, standing there, waiting on you to load up in KJ's car. Looks you all over pretty intently. Looking each of you just sort of up and down, waiting there, doesn't say anything. Looks back to you, Koshik, and you guys load up onto into KJ's sky carriage.
If he's if I see him watching, I'm not getting in the car with them.
Okay. So you're just gonna sit there and wait?
Yeah, I mean, I'll wait till he leaves, I guess, or I'll have her circle back or something. I don't like to know.
Well, KJ is currently pulled up here, and you I will say that you see him watching. You can use your reaction for the turn to just not load up with these guys. But currently, you have grouped up with them at the beginning of the door here. He has used his turn to give this group of people that is currently ahead of him in this line together to get on sky coaches. He's giving y'all a once over.
Wait, how did he
gotten into a sky coach yet?
They have not. I'm saying that she can use her turn to not get into that sky coach, but everyone here is currently grouped up.
Yeah, I just said I was walking to the door.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not getting in the sky coach with them right now.
Okay. Very well. He's sort of sitting there waiting as everybody's sort of here at the moment. And will end his turn. And Milo, that brings us to you.
So quick bit of information needed.
Okay.
Is there like a way outside? Like sidewalks leading to other areas besides this building?
Oh God, no! You are in the sky. This is a floating building above Sharn.
Okay. I didn't know if they had like a walkway around it.
No, if you zoom out to look at the building, it looks exactly as you would see it right here. It is floating in the sky above Sharn.
Gotcha. I know if it was like attached to one of the towers with other walkways and stuff.
No, this is one of the floating buildings above Sharn.
Sure that. All right. Seeing as Kaushik is supposed to be my date, and I don't really know what's going on with her, I'm just going to walk up next to her and kind of like awkwardly lace my arm through hers and be like, "Is everything all right, dear?"
Can I respond to him right now, or do I have to
Yeah.
wait till my next?
No.
Okay.
And I will continue having the drone get closer.
Okay.
I'm just going to say we don't know them. It's just the two of us. While smiling and kind of.
Make a stealth check for me.
He should roll a listening check. I shouldn't roll a stealth check.
He is going to be rolling a listening check.
Oh God.
17.
Okay.
12 plus 5.
Very well. Is that in your turn, Milo?
With the drone's movement, then yes.
Okay, drone uses its action. I just say if it uses its action and movement, it can get up to KJ's carriage, if that's where you're kind of aiming it to.
Yeah, kind of right nearby it. Yeah.
Just
Okay.
shows up Amazon delivery.
All right. Ending Milo's turn, that's going to bring us to Crowley. What would you like to do, sir? KJ is here. Doors are open by some of the wait staff there, holding the door out for you.
I'm going to enter and indicate for KJ to immediately drive.
Night, boss. And
without even looking behind me, not looking at anyone. And then once the doors are closed and movement happens, I'm going to indicate that someone is following us, and we'll lose them later. But for now, do what you did before, pick everyone up.
yes.
And I make myself scarce.
Okay. What do you mean by you make it? Are you trying to like hide in the shadows? Or are you casting something in the car?
I'm going to cast something in the car.
All right. What you doing?
Let's see what we can do here.
With
I
that-
don't want to be seen.
Crowley
Okay.
is. Wait, let's open the door. Doors are
Yeet
open.
Crowley off into the
Yep.
abyss.
Yeah, just leave.
That's
Well,
what
if
I'm.
that's how you feel, Leon.
Goodbye.
I'm not drawing sky carriages for you guys to leave on. Oh,
That's
it's
the
not light
guard.
because everybody's right here. Oh, no, that's
Oh!
a guard. No, it's
Oh!
a guard.
He's gone.
I
And
said good day.
Guard said, "Goodbye, cruel world."
you did what, Crowley? I'm sorry.
I said good day.
You did say good.
No. Right. And
Log you down here.
yeah, I'm just gonna be invisible.
Okay. Cast invisibility on yourself. KJ, with her turn being next, says, "Got it." Yeah, I saw them earlier. They've been here for a minute now. They pulled up a little bit after we did, just been sort of sitting around like I've been. As far as losing them later, I know what my car can do. I'm not sure what this one can, but we'll see.
We'll pay the maintenance fee if it comes to that. And Crowley's gonna open up the box that he left in the thing, and a mask is gonna pop up and disappear.
Okay.
And that is gonna end my turn.
You hear when you say maintenance, she says, "You think I gave those fuckers my real name, please?" And she drives on.
Appropriate, since it's the smiling mask that she sees reflected in front of her before it disappears.
All right. At this point, these guards right here grab the cloak and begin to wheel it back.
Boy. One. Is there only the one?
No, there are two currently wheeling it, and they meet up with these four that are marching. I don't need to move them. They are actively moving towards them to meet up in this same corner right here, where they where Pip, you saw them sort of deboxing this sword, you see the cloak being wheeled into this corner right here. Artyom, with a quick glance back, you see the cloak right here as well.
Okay. They're fast.
Do what?
So those guys got there fast.
Yep.
All right.
With their turn there, that is going to bring us to Pip's turn, and then Gorham, you're on deck. Pip, seeing that, what would you like to do, if anything?
Oh, you're muted.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. So again, just staying in the shadows, staying close, but unnoticed.
Very well. Would you like to hold your action to do anything? That is,
what is that?
So
It's like
holding an action, you can hold if a certain circumstance happens, you can act on that. So Anwin was holding an action to, if he saw the cloak, he would assail the guards that were holding it if he was in range of them. Sort of the same thing. You can't hold your movement or your bonus action, but if you would like to do sort of the same sort of thing, you could. So you could move on this turn, and then hold your action, but that is completely up to you.
To hold it, do I have to name it now?
To name the circumstance, yes.
Oh, to name the circumstance. Okay, so the circumstance would be if Gandalf grabs the cloak.
Okay. All right. That is going to bring us around to these guards. We're going to use their entire turn to move up here into this corner, away from you, Artyom. You do get an attack of opportunity if you'd like to take it.
Nope.
I had to say it. I had to say it. And they use their entire turn to bring it out. This cloak seems to have a little bit of life on its own as they bring it out, and it's just sort of floating there. Nobody touching this. These guards actually, when it is unlocked, turn and sort of form this weird perimeter around it. They have another like velvet lined box that it is being laid down into, and put into that, and that is going to be the entirety of their turn. Ending their turn, that is going to bring us around to Gorham. Gorham, you have just seen Crowley load up into the car with KJ, and she is driven off.
I'm gonna step back a little bit, right there.
Okay.
Just kind of like mill about, wait for
Very well.
KJ to come back.
Any held actions or anything?
No, not right now.
Okay, very well. Ending Gorham's turn, that's going to bring us back to the top of the initiative, Gandalf, as you hear another rolling of cases and a similar like unboxing process in this corner around. You cannot currently see what it is, but you are free to move and act as you please. I would probably say, based on the look on Artyom's face, you probably can realize what's around that corner.
Okay. All right.
What would you like to do?
Well, first of all, I'm gonna give 10, kind of 15, to where I can see around the corner.
Yep.
Examine what the fuck is going on. So, just make sure that I am getting the correct numbers on things. I see 5 guards plus some kind of cloaked figure.
Correct. He doesn't have a hood up or anything. It just looks to be a half elf in robes currently. And you see it as he waves a hand, the glass box is just sort of blue arcane energy dispersed off to the sides, and it is raised up and placed into the box.
Quick question. Glance over my shoulder. Is there a sky carriage waiting outside the open doors?
You see one pulling up currently.
Look real fancy.
It looks
kingly
like a sky
even.
carriage. Do what?
Said kingly even.
This one doesn't appear to be kingly in any sort of manner.
Oh, for the love of Jesus. Oh, God. I'm very nervous. You said these guys met up with them. They don't look like they're just like passing by, right? Like they're there with purpose.
Correct. They have formed a perimeter around this item.
Okay. All right. And so the cloak is somewhere in like this corner area next to the hooded guy.
Currently, the cloak is suspended in air right about here, as he's starting to lay it down in like a velvet-lined box.
All right, so 5, 10, or yeah, I don't know what the box is, so kind of up to this guy, just kind of like meandering, and just as I walk up to him, I'm just gonna kind of reach into my jacket and come out with the knife, just pommel bashing him in the forehead, and I'm gonna make a full round of attacks against him.
Go for it. Initiative now becomes a bit more strict. All right, go ahead and roll.
What do you want me to do? Gosh. Yes, let us just load it up into the carriage. This is where I was told to take the fucking package. I'm taking the fucking package. So, attack number 1. These, I will go ahead and say, I am not trying to kill any of these guys.
Okay.
I'm using blunt force trauma to try to beat them unconscious.
Very well.
So, attack number 1. That's gonna be a 19 plus 8, 27.
That hits.
Okay. I would like to make him to make a Constitution saving throw to not be stunned.
That is a failure.
He is stunned. So, first attack takes 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right.
It is stunned, and so
every other attack has advantage after this point.
And I am gonna be flurrying of blows. So.
All right.
3 more attacks coming
I'm
up.
about to end this whole man's career.
Second one's another 27.
27 hits.
With 8 points of magical bludgeoning.
Okay.
That's a crit on the first unarmed strike.
Okay.
Or 11 points of magical bludgeoning.
Okay.
11 rolling that 2 on the dice.
Yikes.
Last attack is another 27.
Definitely hits.
For another 8 points of magical bludgeoning damage.
Does not go down in your flurry of strikes.
Unfortunate.
It's stunned currently as you walk up, flip the chef's knife around, and just a bloody nose, and just locked up in surprise and anticipation. I will say that all of these guys are surprised currently, forfeiting their round.
Where's the exclamation points, Jones?
Metal Gear Solid.
Wait, no, I'm doing the wrong one. It is this guy can't do it because he's stunned. This guy.
Who's more surprised, the guy getting hit in the face or the dude standing next?
They are all equally surprised. However, is that going to end your turn?
Yeah.
All right, very well.
I was given a task. I am attempting to fulfill it.
Very well. Melgrim, it is now your turn, sir.
Y'all know nothing is happening out there waiting for the sky carriage.
Nope.
Didn't Pip have a held action?
Yep. If I went to do something.
Pip had a held action for grabbing the cloak.
Okay.
I'm beating the brakes off these guards.
Has the carriage come back around, or?
Not quite. KJ is making a circle, so you guys are sort of awkwardly standing in the doorway, all just sort of grouped up here. However, there was, so it is making its way around, getting back into the line.
Oh, my carriage isn't here yet. Oh, I think I've had a little too much to drink. Just sort of stand on the side there.
Very well. All right. Is that gonna end your turn?
Yep.
Very well. Kaushik, it is now your turn.
I'm just waiting for KJ, making friendly small talk banter with my date, away from everyone that we don't know, because it's just the two of us.
Very well. All right.
That's the one.
All right, and then Kaushik's turn. That is going to bring us to Artium.
Can you shimmy those guys into the exact squares that they're on?
Surely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Hey,
Alright, and where is the cloak at?
Cloak is right here in this corner, just sort of suspended in the air, moving to a box that's right here.
Oh, okay, so it's like moving 10 feet across the ground, like hovering over to another box?
Correct. Here, let's see if I can find something really quickly to sort of symbolize it. Why not? Why not like that? That's a cloak.
Holy shit!
Alright.
That's a big cloak. I'm deleting that. Give me a second.
Magic carpet ride.
Here you go. There you go. Cloak floating in the air. All right.
Can you see that sphere on
I
the
can.
screen?
Yep. 11.3 feet.
Well, it should technically be like 10 feet right there.
Okay.
Or was it a 20-foot radius or 20-foot diameter? Hold on, let me check something real quick.
Not a worry.
20-foot diameter.
All right.
Hurt.
Yeah. Whoop. Or the good old wall of thorns right there for those guys to get gobbled up in, because it's apparently go time.
All right.
I don't know if you want me to hold that perimeter. So
I'm trying
mark
to
it
zoom in and see if this guy is in the square. It's not taking up more than half of his square at the moment. If you are intentionally trying to get him, I'll allow you to move it. It needs to take up half his square though.
The guy that's
this guy right here.
Yeah, that guy right there. He probably won't get sucked in, but yeah, he would definitely be kind of like pinned against the wall probably.
Okay. Very well.
Or at least like take damage and be shunted outward.
Which I believe is a dexterity saving throw. He will not be on. He will be on the outside of the wall, so he'll sort of be pinned in this area right here. Maybe not necessarily restrained, but he will be in between a wall and a hard place.
Yes, it is a dexterity saving throw.
All right.
Go ahead and start rolling damage.
There's a 14 and a 5.
Negative.
Nice.
And it's 5 feet thick, so the only guy who doesn't need to make one's the guy that's on the very inside of it.
Okay.
So yeah. 16. Oh, 40 points of damage flat.
Gandalwin says non-lethal damage. Archim says never heard of her.
It's they'll quit if they know what's good for them.
These three immediately are pierced, and their bodies ravaged with thorns and are killed.
Holy shit.
Well,
everybody was like, ooh, it's a bad idea, Gandalf.
This man is pinned against the wall currently. These two
yikes.
Still stunned.
He's stunned until the end of my next turn.
I'm sorry. What was the total damage?
40 total.
40? Okay, yeah.
Okay. And then my move speed. 2, 3. Oh, I guess I can't go right there, so I'll just go right up to this guy.
Sit.
Okay. End your turn, Artyom?
That will end my turn. I won't just yet. Well, yeah, I will not use a bonus action just yet.
All right, ending your turn. Brings us to Quanti, who gives you one last once over as his carriage pulls up. He steps in alone into an Orion carriage, shuts the door, and drives off. And that will bring us to Milo.
Get back to my character. Tailspire's struggling with me.
Right.
That's Kaushik right there in the door, right?
Correct.
So still walking with her, arm in arm. I will. I have no idea what's going on over there, so what was the specifics of that message that you sent me, Crowley?
No, I'm jogging my memory back. It was just to make sure everyone travels separate, or enters separately, or at least with the person you came in with. That was the big thing. And to warn, that's what it was. To warn everyone that the person who bought the statue is making their way to them. The party in the back, as it were.
I don't think I'm in range with a message spell for any of them, so.
I also believe message requires line of sight.
No, you can send it as long as you know where they're at, but they still have to be within range.
Gotcha, within 100 feet, and yeah, they'd be a little bit too far from you.
Yeah, so
that's why I said it when you were like back there, but I don't know what's happened since then. I'm focused on everything going on.
Yeah, that being the case, ready to action to get in the carriage with Kaushik, I guess.
Yeah, very well.
And then just keeping that drone on standby to sweep in the outside window when we get in.
Okay, I'll say it's holding its action to fly into the window of KJ's carriage on your turn.
Gotcha. All
right. Crowley,
Yep.
is there anything that you would like to do? Anything else you would like to do in this carriage?
No, I'm just invisible and changing my attire.
Okay, I would like you to make a perception check for me.
Alrighty. $17.
With a 17, you see as Quanti pulls away, sort of watching up as KJ's just sort of sitting down here in this line of carriages now, waiting. You see Quanti pull off, and then two more Orion coaches pull up, and then two more. There seems to be a fleet of 5 traveling along with him as they take off and go further into the city.
None of them
go ahead.
Hanging around at all. They're out of sight, out of mind.
they no one is hanging around that you can see. You see, that's about all the Orion coaches that you see. But these are sort of nicer versions of what you've been seeing flying around town.
And Milo just stepped in, right? Milo and, or did anyone else step in yet?
Not yet. They're waiting on the carriage to pull up.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I'll inform them of that when they get in.
Very well.
Hold action. Tell a tale.
All right. Ending Crowley's turn. That is going to bring us to KJ, who's going to slowly pull up behind all these carriages that are leaving, open her door for those who have had held actions, which I believe was Milo and Kaushik. I assume you guys are stepping into the carriage. Okay. You're invisible, and these guards aren't really paying attention to anyone in here who's not trying to do anything. You currently have no one that is paying attention to the carriage you're in, so no need to make a stealth check. However, Kaushik and Milo, do you step into KJ's carriage? Speak now, because I'm about to drop you off the board.
Yes.
Yep. There goes Kaushik. There goes Milo. Load up in with you, Crowley. KJ drives back around once more. All right. That will. She picks you guys up. That will. That will end her turn. That carriage down there is holding steady, just so everybody sees it. She nods her head down, and there's just one carriage that is slow, just floating there. All right, but that will end her turn and bring us Pip. All hell is broken loose since you've been sort of sitting here, but the cloak is still floating in the air right here. What would you like to do?
How
Actually,
far away am I?
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but the person who was maintaining those magics, the cloak falls to the floor and is landed right there. Since the person who was holding that spell is no longer.
Very dead.
Very dead. Go ahead.
Is
What were you
no
saying
longer.
How far away am I from the cloak and the guys?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Your movement speed would get you right about there. From these two, you're about 40 feet away. From the cloak itself, I'm sorry, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55 feet from the cloak.
How much of that, like, I'm sorry, where all is thorned right now?
Right here. The 10-foot diameter right here.
Okay. Cool beans.
So I am going to cast invisibility on myself
Okay.
and move the 30 feet closer to Gandalf and get as close as I can to them.
All right. I am going to do something really quickly. You will no longer be able to see your character, Stacy. So you will have to, I'm sorry, Pip. So you will have to tell me where you would like to move. But you're moving your movement speed towards what?
I want to get as close as I can toward Gandalf, RTM, and the cloak.
Okay.
I think put me like right behind the whole like brouhaha.
All right. You can get immediately behind them, or close to behind them with just your movement. And you do have your bonus action as well, which you could use to dash. And you still have your action. Oh no, you've used your action to cast invisibility, so you could bonus. And where would you like to get specifically? You have a space behind Gandalf, a space behind Artyom, that you could pretty much get to anywhere on this line that I'm sort of. Well, really, you've used your bonus action to dash, so there are places you could get that would require some checks. If you were trying to get closer to the guards or to these guys or to the cloak itself, what would you like to do? Because currently, and let me go ahead and build it on here since so we can see it sort of. Let's see. There is a wall of thorns currently that is right here. Sort of pinning that guy up. It did not hit the cloak. It was just outside of the cloak. Oh, that did not go that far. Don't believe it. Right about there. So.
And will that held action continue to hold?
No, once you've used your turn, there's no more held action, and you've already used your action for this turn.
Okay. So in that case, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It was a 20-foot diameter, so it stretches all the way to the other wall.
It's a 20-foot diameter?
Right, 10-foot radius, 20-foot diameter.
Okay, then these guys would have definitely been hit because you were doing a 10-foot diameter.
Yeah, you measured a 10-foot diameter.
That would hit the cloak and everybody in it.
I measured a 10-foot radius, like.
Well, that's 5, 10. Because if it was 10-foot radius, it would go out.
Yeah, that's a 10-foot radius right there. That's about where it was.
Okay.
Is it okay?
So it didn't go as far this way as I thought it did. Very well.
Right. I mean, I don't think that was the exact spot. I think it was more like, yeah. Anyway, you get it.
The general ballpark.
Right. But that one guy inside of it's like a circle. So that guy, there's one dude that's inside of it that probably shouldn't have taken any damage.
Yeah, he should be fine, right? Because it's 5 feet wide.
Yeah.
So there should be like a singular clear spot in the middle.
Right.
You right though.
Measure the diameter for me again. We'll see.
Because this one guy was like right on the very edge of it, so I think it was like right here.
Okay. Well, I remember this guy was pinned up against the wall, so it was moved over.
Yeah,
quite
it was.
a
I
bit.
think it might have been. It might have been in this one right here that I'm kind of like standing over.
Okay.
Somewhere it might have
So
been
that would
somewhere right
leave
over here.
Actually, one more guard.
Right.
Just as a heads up, Jonesy, I will not be able to stay far beyond our usual schedule today.
Understood. All right. Very well. Is there anything else you'd like to do, Stacy? You've made it. Where would you like to go?
I'll like post up behind Gandalf, and
Okay.
that'll be the end.
All right. Very well. Ending Pip's turn. It brings us to the guard's turn. This one is stunned currently, and it is to the end of your next turn, right, Ganwin?
End of my next turn, yeah.
Okay, so he is.
I will get to smack the shit out of him again.
He is doing nothing. This one. So wait, I need to do some. 1, 2, 3 is gone. Him is gone. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 is pinned up against the wall. You hear some shouting from over here, but other than that, there's not much he can do. He's going to try to force his way over here.
Oh.
On the outside of your wall. I believe the damaging side is on the inside, correct, Kent?
It's if you try to do anything, if you try to move through it, you take the damage.
Right. But being with him right here, and he's not really moving through it.
If he's not in the 5-foot wall, then he's fine. I mean, he can move around like normal.
He moves right here, and still gonna make it difficult terrain because he's pinned in between the wall and that thing. So that's about the extent of his move, trying to move over there. This guard, confused and not sure exactly what's going on, is gonna make a couple of attacks at Gandalf, who has been sort of the immediate threat here with the dagger, and he understands that. So
Hey, I haven't killed anybody yet. He just killed 2 guys.
That's a 12. Oh my god.
That's fine.
Okay. As he sort of brings out this baton from his side, he takes a couple of swipes at you, but in his confusion does not find any purchase.
It's like a Pokemon in his confusion.
This guard is gonna start some shouting for help as he tries to like place his hand on the fucking wall and hurts himself doing so. He will not try to push through. But he will begin shouting, as will this one over here, for help. All right. Ending their turn. That's going to bring us around to Gorham. KJ is making her way around once more. She's not quite made it up to you, but would you just want to ready your action to get in, or make a perception check for me really quickly?
Oh.
What?
Okay. With the music and all the talking going on, you don't hear anything more out here, and the guards around here. Bro. 8, 4, 8, 6. Do not hear anything as well. So everything is blissfully unaware out here. Very
Yeah,
well.
I was gonna assume everything is going swimmingly back there, so
Sounds like it.
I'm gonna ready an action to hop in whenever KJ pulls up.
Very well. That brings us to the end of initiative. And gonna bring us back up to you, Gandalf. However, since we do have some things going on, and it is Milo's birthday today, I did call it right here, but we're gonna call it in the middle of this as Gandalf, you have bashed the face of this guy and getting ready to put in the finishing blow. Our team is impaled. One is they are currently shouting for help, although the trees around this room are sort of like muffling the sounds. And like this guy is screaming, is like just sort of muffled as these things are up in the air. The rest of the party following with their eyes and in sort of KJ's carriage, where all of these other things there's a lot of moving parts here as you follow Quanti's coach out and about, and your eyes follow Laura Quinal out of the back door. Barrick, whose fate remains to be seen. That is where we'll end tonight's episode. Thank you, everyone. I hate to end it there, but we do have some things going on tonight that we need to get to, but we'll pick up next week with the same exciting action going on here as you guys try to get this cloak and get it out of here. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you guys for playing with me. I always have a blast with you guys. Make sure, thank you, Stacy, for making another guest appearance. And it looks like you might be back here next week if you want to be. If not, we'll see the fate of Pip as well. We will make our way through this encounter as you guys try to steal the cloak of King Galifar the First, who is what is currently owned by King Bornell, the current king of Breland. Very well. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Make sure you donate to Extra Life. We are still doing our charity run. To scroll right down there, see our milestones that we're giving away, and those are still going on currently. And let's give somebody a raid and support this wonderful community that we are blessed to be a part of. So we will hop in here and try to raid someone. Does anybody have any happy birthday again, Milo and/or Cody? Happy birthday, man. Glad we're gonna get to celebrate it with you a little bit.
Thank you.
Old man.
Go get your vaccines. This is a plug, sponsored by Pfizer, Moderna, and everybody else.
Hell yeah.
Go get your fucking vaccines, guys.
Where's that vaccine money at? Give me that vaccine sponsor money.
All right, let's get a raid going around. Let's see who's live.
They're free. You don't even have to steal the cloak of a king to get a vaccine.
Exactly.
You don't.
Oh god.
We're gonna raid the welcome in. These guys are awesome. A lot of great role playing, a lot of funny moments. We're gonna go ahead and start this raid. Ready up. Thank you guys again. Make sure you drop a follow if you haven't yet. We're live every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Monday we do go to Saltmarsh. Wednesdays we do Tavern Talk. Saturdays we do this, where we go into Eberron and we try to steal the Cloak of Kings. Bye guys, until next time. Much love.
Bye.
Bye.